There we go. Have the recording on. Okay, so yeah, you guys are sailing somewhat leisurely from Baldur's Gate to Port Nyanzaru. You talk to a bunch of people, and midway through your voyage, a bunch of pirates attacked you. I think, Sareth, you know, or you at least recognize the captain of this pirate ship. And so if you manage to make it back on board, you might be able to tell everybody something about that. But during the middle of the fight, the barbarian, with a name probably to be determined, because I don't know if Murakana is going to remain his name. So Murakana, Daminar, and Sareth all jumped onto the pirate's boat, where they rapidly saw that there were a bunch of reinforcements swarming up from below decks, and then at about the same time, a giant dragon turtle started surfacing in the water in front of the two ships, and they began pulling apart. So at this point, the barbarian is still on the pirate ship. The pirate ship is pulling away. It is actually now about 20 feet or 4 squares away from the ship that you guys are on, the Peregrine. And Sareth and Daminar are kind of floating in the water down here. Daminar, I believe, is stable but unconscious, and Sareth is kind of, I think you're holding him?
Yeah, I'm like trying to keep him from not drowning.
Okay, and on deck with you are Shago, Hugh Hackenstone, Ferrul. The captain of the Peregrine is valiantly trying to not run into the dragon turtle. And the crew might as well be ineffectual because this is a weak merchant vessel that was not expecting to be attacked. So, everybody good?
Yep.
Cool. I am going to say that we are at the top of the turn order. Go ahead.
I got my portrait to work. Problem is, it's big.
It's a cropped.
Where are you?
I can't.
Oh my sweet fucking Jesus.
What have you done?
Taco, what are you doing? Okay, hold on. So I'm going to delete this Gale.
Oh.
I'm going to resize Gale. Oh, you know what the problem is that this map I didn't snap because of the annoyance. Okay, let me add your nameplate. Add that, add that, add that, add that, add that, add that. Boom. Okay. No? Basic. HP. HP. AC.
See, we called you basic. Aha.
There we go. Okay, cool. I can see your info now. And just to make life simpler, I'm going to lock this token to you.
Nameplate?
Is his nameplate not showing?
Nope.
It's not.
I see hit points in the health bar. There it is.
Fix that.
Oh, did it go?
Yeah, I just fixed that up myself.
Okay, cool. Okay. So is everybody good to go? Awesome. So I'm going to say Armorian goes first, just because I have to play him right now. And he is going to take a withdraw action and make... he's going to make an acrobatics check to see if he can do a running jump and actually get back to the boat.
Oh boy.
Acrobatics or athletics?
I think strength athletics could work. I mean, he's not trying to finesse it, but you can go either way.
Because I wouldn't be rolling any dex things on his character, because that's...
Well, the good news is he fails and falls in the drink.
God damn it.
So he's about 10 feet off the side of the boat, splashing in the
I
drink.
don't remember what my old initiative was, but Gale got pulled off of the turn order, so I just threw him back on.
Okay, cool. I'm just having the bandits go at the end because I don't want to overdo it. Owen, my brother, will not be part of this fight right now because his character is already in Port Nyanzaru. So he's here but not fighting.
Doing something to those cat girls in Yan, whatever the fuck it is.
Those tabaxi. Those dirty, dirty tabaxi.
What happens in Port
has
Nyanzaru
coin.
stays in Port Nyanzaru.
Exactly right.
Kitty was a fine girl. Okay, it is Sarah's turn.
Shit. I can't do much. Well, actually, I can because I have to hold up Demnar until Gal can levitate him, right? Oh, not Gal. Who was the one who had levitate? Sib?
I think Gale is Sib's character, right?
Oh, yeah. Never mind. Yep. Nope.
Yeah,
that was
also
right.
give me just a minute.
I mean, alternative. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Like, I can't skip my go, can I? Well, not skip, but, you know, like, delay it, I guess.
I'd say you kind of have to decide like what you're doing. I mean, you are next to the ship, but the ships aren't moving. So I guess the question is, are you going to do anything to try and are you going to do anything, or are you just going to float there with Daminar?
There's rigging on the side of the ship, so can I, like, I'd attempt to climb it, because I'm assuming that'd be pretty much impossible from her point. But, I don't know, like, hold on to it while holding Daminar.
So you're an elf, right? And Daminar is a halfling?
I thought he was a medium. I can't remember.
Let me look. I just have to look what Daminar is.
He's a
Oh,
person
you're
with
both-
hopes and dreams.
No, you're both mediums. Okay. So yeah, if you want to reach out, I would say give me a yeah, this would also probably be a strength athletics check, just to see if you can if you can grab onto the rigging while also holding on to Daminar, because you're trying to
Athletics or just straight up strength?
I think swim would fall under. I mean, really, this could be strength plus athletics or survival, I guess, depending on whichever.
I mean, I'd roll for survival because that's my better one besides acrobatics.
Yeah, no, I mean, I could say strength plus survival, just because you're trying to swim, and that seems like a survivey type thing.
Doesn't Pathfinder have a swim?
Yes, it literally has the swim
Yeah,
skill.
I thought so because I was in Pathfinder Tuesday.
So you miss grabbing the rigging, but you do manage to stay you get close enough to the ship that you didn't completely, you reached up and your hand just couldn't grasp on with the waves and everything. So you're kind of caught up in the wake coming off of the bow of the ship. But luckily, the wake has also kind of swept you next to the ship. So you're not getting, you're kind of tracking with the way the ship is going right now. You're not just kind of sitting out in the middle of the water. And then we got Sebastian.
Right. I'm gonna. How far away did you say the barbarian was in the water? Like 10 feet?
He's about 10 feet away, yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna move over to the edge here, grab a rope, and toss one end of it out towards the barbarian.
Okay.
Oh, that's a sensible choice.
Who'd have thought? Yeah, where's my thing? Sorry, this is where I know 5e is a little different than Pathfinder because you can do other shit on your turn. That is not happening. Is there not a reaction ability?
There are reactions, but there aren't a lot of things you can do as a reaction.
Okay. So we'll say it lands pretty close to him. Like you roughly toss it within a few feet of him, since he's 10 feet away. I don't think you need a check for that. Is there anything else you want to do on your turn?
Let's see. I moved. I interacted with an object. I took an action. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't have relevant bonus actions.
Yep.
but I am doing my best to hang on to my end of the rope because I haven't had time to secure it to anything yet.
Okay, cool. Daminar is stable but unconscious, so I don't think we need to do anything to him. He's just going to need to be hauled back onto the boat probably before he can really do anything. He's just kind of happily unconscious in Sereth's arms, unaware of the sheer horror of the dragon turtle looming up in front of him, the pirate ship and everything else.
I mean, that is plan B. We feed him to the dragon turtle.
Feed him to the dragon turtle? Yeah. So let's see. Oh, I went back to the top of the order there, didn't I? Because we were mid-order. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of reset and get some stuff going. Farul and Hugh both kind of run to the front. Shago comes over by you, Sebastian, to assist. He pretty much grabs the rope as well to if and when Murakana grabs on to help you pull him out. So I guess that'll be an aid action if it comes down to it. The bandit captain starts shouting to his men in common. He essentially, you hear him saying, "Get the bags, get the bags!" And so a bunch of the bandits, and keep in mind now the ships are about 40 feet away, so the distance is doubling. It doesn't look like the bandit ship is trying to gain speed, it's just trying to gain distance, so that you don't run straight into that dragon turtle. And so let's see, the bandits are going, a bunch of them, they're both moving to the fore and the aft castle of the ship, responding to the captain. They've completely stopped focusing on you guys in any way whatsoever. And at this point, the dragon turtle has kind of fully bubbled up. You can tell that this creature is larger. Its shell is about the size of both of these ships put together, and it appears to be kind of starting to take a vector where it's not coming straight at the ships. It looks like it's starting to loop around, but it's definitely keeping an eye on everybody, and it's just slowly starting to swim around the ships for this turn. So let's see, that takes us through Daminar and Shago. Why are these not in order? What happened?
Good question.
That's really weird. I thought they were in order, and it suddenly wasn't. Okay, Daminar, Shago. So now we're back to Sereth. Did
Wait,
Gale didn't even get to go
No,
yet.
Gale didn't get to go. That's
No.
Sorry, I'm just jury rigging this. Okay, Gale's turn.
All right.
You've also got Murakana missing from the order.
That's fine, I'm playing Americana. I'll just lump them in with all the NPCs.
Well, get up here, you
Which are-
soggy cunts. Which is, we're doing Levitate on Daminar and Sareth.
you can do two. Awesome.
Well, I'm assuming the two you're holding them, and you
Yeah.
combined weigh less than 500 pounds.
Oh yeah, that's definitely true.
Gonna make me look up a spell within 10 minutes of starting the game.
Yes.
Fair enough. Okay, yeah, Sure. You can levitate Sereth. If you try to levitate Daminar, Daminar will float up and Sereth's going to try to have to hang on to his limp body. So it's up to you who you want to cast it on.
Oh, Daminar would probably be the more critical one, because worst comes to worst, Sareth can just swim.
Yeah.
Sarah hanging on to the rigging.
Sereth is
tried to.
close to the rigging.
Oh.
Sereth is within try to grab it again range. Also, the boat is slowing down at this point. You just as an extra piece of information, both the pirate ship and this ship are both kind of slowing. They've obviously the crews have stopped trying to accelerate. It may have something to do with the giant dragon turtle. But yeah, okay. Who do you want to levitate? Pick someone.
I'll go with. I want to go with Sarah and see if he can grab this bastard.
Okay, Sareth, do you try to Do you try to resist the levitate spell?
I don't try to resist it, but I try to grab onto Daminar, I guess.
Okay, this is just going to be a straight strength test.
Awesome. My worst stat. Oh, hey.
Hey, you passed. You hang on to him as you start lifting up out of the water. So at this point, you're about 5 feet off the edge of the boat, floating up. I'll say 20 feet gets you to about railing level. So at this point, you're kind of, just to make it make sense with the pieces, I'm going to move you a little bit. You're floating kind of right there with Daminar. So that's where you are. And that would... Go ahead.
So from here, I can shoot at the pirates, right?
You could shoot the pirates, but you'd have to drop Daminar.
Oh, damn it.
You're holding on. You're like hugging Daminar, right? So like you've got him under the arms. His wet body is just kind of hanging limply as you're hugging him from behind.
I want to attack the enemy.
Well, if you want to, you can drop him. I'm sorry, Gale. Was there anything else you were going to do on your turn?
Other than pretty much hide behind the railing, not really, no.
Okay. So it is, in fact, Sareth's turn.
I thought I did it while like holding on to. Okay. Shit. Pass. I guess I can't really do anything. But...
I mean, you can keep your options are pretty much keep holding on to him, or drop him. Those are pretty much your options right now.
Yeah, just keep holding on to him, I guess. Do I have to roll another strength check or?
Not this turn. You already had one this turn. I'm not going to make you do 2 strength tests in a turn.
Thank you.
Because that would just be a dick move. Now we go up to, let's see here. Arm would have gone in between because of the order, so he's going to, I'm just going to say as an action, he grabs the rope and starts pulling himself over. Let's see how far he gets. Where's that die? Damn it. So he actually makes it. He grabs the rope and pulls himself to the edge of the boat, and he's starting to climb the rigging. In one more turn, if nothing else happens, he will be back on the boat. So that'll take it to Sebastian's turn. What do you want to do?
So I'll start reeling my rope back in.
Oh, is your rope?
Yes. Yeah, I have one in my pack.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, taking care not to keep it from tangling up with Maracana.
Okay, cool. At this point, you can see Hugh and Ferrul have gathered a sack from the deck, and a bunch of sailors on the ship have brought up a little chest and are kind of, it looks like they're almost doing quick math, and they're throwing trinkets and various items of some value into the sack. And it appears, is anybody trying to see what the pirates are doing right now?
I could try. I mean,
Dale's watching him to make sure he doesn't get shot at.
Yeah. So they're not too far away. You can see that a couple of the bandits have essentially done the same thing. It essentially looks like the crew and people who have been on this voyage before are both on both ships are literally filling sacks with items of minor value right now, which is quite puzzling because of, you were just fighting each other. Yeah. At this point, the dragon turtle is continuing to swim around the ships. What?
Never mind. Describe.
Oh, so the dragon turtle is continuing to circle around the ship. Both ships have almost stopped, and the dragon turtle is actually leaving enough wake that you can sense that the ships are going to slowly start spinning along with this wake. And then at this point, well, we're going to have to go to one more turn, but I'm kind of going to drop out of combat order at this point because the ships are now kind of far enough apart that I guess Gale or anybody with a bow, if you really want to shoot the pirates, let me know, but we're probably done with fighting unless you guys want to keep going. Does anybody want to keep trying to kill the pirates right now?
I want to keep taking some pot shots at the captain, but other than that,
Great. This will be fun. Never mind. We'll keep initiative order up. Let's see. Okay. So yeah, these bandits in the middle have the sack. These guys have kind of come back to just keep an eye on what's going on. Shago is just kind of appreciatively gives you a thumbs up, Sebastian, and reaches over to assist with Murakana as soon as he gets back. And like I said, Hugh and Ferrul are filling this bag along with the crew of the ship. And so that would take us through. Daminar still unconscious. We did Shago. Gale, it's your turn. What do you do?
a shot at the captain.
So he is, at this point, from a distance perspective, about 110, 120 feet away.
That's still within my first range.
Okay.
Kablooey. Oh, that probably doesn't hit.
Yeah, you missed.
Oh, that winged.
He is noticeably angry that you have shot at him with everything going on right now. And he kind of looks at you and
Gale's
just glares.
Gonna flip the bird.
Okay, great. Now we're going to go to Sareth. You're floating 5 feet from the boat. What do you do? You're holding Daminar.
I keep holding onto it.
Great.
Strength check.
Yeah, please make a strength check. Oh, Jesus Christ. So, yeah. Bloosh. Daminar is unconscious, just hit the water at the beginning of next turn. He's going to start sinking. Good news is you're still floating.
Yeah, I'm still floating, but that didn't matter. Shit. Can I resist the spell and, like, I don't know, dive after him?
You could shout at
Actually-
Gale to break the spell.
Yeah, I'll just do that, I guess.
Oh, what? And concentration broken.
Okay, you fall into the water right next to Daminar. Make a Dex acrobatics check.
Dex.
Okay, you do manage to miss him when you fall into the water. You don't hit him on the head.
Oh, that's good.
You managed to just not completely like shove him underwater. Jesus Christ. All you had to do was throw him a rope and drag him in, but nope. Had to take a pot shot at the captain. God damn it. Okay. Maricana successfully climbs up a bit, grabs Shago's hand, and gets on the boat. So he is there. Let's see here. We will switch over in a second. Sebastian, it is your turn.
I'm going to move up here and cast the rope out towards Daminar and Sareth.
Oh, great. Awesome. The rope lands within a few feet of you guys, as apparently one member of this adventuring party is interested in trying to save people in the water. Hugh and Ferrul have just kind of posted up here with the sack. The bandits have also posted up with the sack. You can see two of these bandits over here are going to go below decks. I'm just going to move them out in the water, and they've vanished for now. And at this point, the dragon turtle is continuing to circle around, and the boats are actually starting to spin a little bit. Does anybody here speak Draconic?
Shit, doesn't Arm do that? I think. Could have sworn he picked something like that.
I think he does, doesn't he?
Yeah. Having a look. Where's his character sheet?
I'm trying to find out. Oh my god, he does speak Draconic. Okay. So Arm, in probably the most ridiculous way. So you're hearing this. The dragon turtle has poked his head up above the water, and he's staring at you guys, and he's booming in this guttural, harsh language, and steam is kind of coming out between these snatches of sound. And keep in mind, the head of this dragon turtle is about the size of half of, like the forecastle of the ship, and so Murakana is translating for you guys, and he says, "Oh, hey, y'all. Looks like this dragon turtle says his name's Aramak. Sounds like he wants us to throw stuff in a bag and throw it to him because this is his water. Sounds like Aramak owns the bay or something, so we have to pay a toll to get through." And
Sounds legit to me.
that's my shitty-ass Arm impression, because I didn't think I was going to have to play a Tulsin. So this giant ancient dragon is shaking you guys down under threat of sinking the boat if you don't give him loot. And so Hugh and Ferrul have their bag ready. The pirates start walking towards, those two pirates walk to the edge. They're about to throw the bag in, and a blast of steam just kind of comes from Aramak and knocks half the pirates on the boat kind of to the other side, and there's a roar from the turtle, and Murakana says, seems like they aren't offering him enough. You guys might want to check that bag and see how much we're going to give that big turtle. And let's see here. That takes us to the next turn, where I'm going to kind of go near. Are you going to keep shooting at people, Gale?
Yeah, I mean, if they're gonna start breaking off.
They broke off 3 turns ago.
Well, yeah, but still in range. You know what? We're gonna flip one final bird to the captain, and then put the gun away.
Okay, let's see here. So Hugh nods to Ferrul, and Hugh runs up and pushes past Sebastian. What is your AC, Sabir?
AC is 14.
Okay. He hits you with his fist and does 4 damage to you.
Ow!
What a traitor.
And says, "Put your goddamn gun away, boy." And just kind of stares at you and doesn't move. Because he's pissed at you. And then, let's see. I'm going to stop using this. So I'm going to take us out of initiative because I'm tired of trying to do narrative and initiative at the same time. My brain's going to break. So at this point, those 2 bandits come back. They do have bows. Essentially, they were getting pissed at you too, and they were going to get ready to shoot at you after they dealt with this. These bandits are squabbling together. The captain makes one of the guys take the wheel and comes down and starts kind of looking through one of his pouches to try and find something else to throw in the bag. At this point, Ferrul's looking kind of scared, but is going to start edging towards the edge of the boat to see if he's going to get blasted with steam or not. You have about 10-15 seconds before Ferrul gets there to either inspect the contents of the bag or let him try to present this offering to Aramak.
I'm trying to reel in people from the water.
Sure, go ahead. Let's see here. Sareth, do you want to try and grab the rope?
Yeah.
Just make a another athletic survival or a strength survival check because we're swimming. I think that's what I'm calling swimming. Cool, you grab the rope. Well done.
Hey.
You have the rope. I'm assuming you have Daminar. It's precarious, but you've got both of them. Again, you're 5 feet from the boat. Sebastian, can I assume you're just going to start pulling on the rope once he has it?
Yes.
Awesome. So all that happens. Gale, do you put your gun away or no?
We put the gun away.
Okay, so Hugh sees you put the gun away, and Hugh goes and starts climbing down the rigging here to help take the load of Daminar, and help you pull him out of the drink and get him up on the deck. So unless something crazy happens, you're all going to be on the deck kind of in the next beat. Shago is just kind of staring dumbstruck at the turtle. It looks like Murakana is having probably inappropriate thoughts about the turtle. And Ferrul is going to, gets to the edge. He throws the bag over. There doesn't seem to be any response from the turtle. And the bag sinks into the water. At this point, you guys get up on the boat, get Daminar on there. The bandit captain drops something in the bag and then takes the bag, walks to the edge, and holds it up and shouts out to just kind of shouts at the turtle. He doesn't speak Draconic. And the turtle just kind of nods back and starts going underwater. And the captain tosses the bag over. And it appears that everybody has appeased the turtle at this point. You don't know how much was in either bag, but I will say there was some glinting from the pirate captain's whatever he threw in the bag. It was valuable. And then he's going to go back, and the pirate ship is going to start breaking. Let's see here. You guys are headed south. The pirate ship starts breaking hard west as soon as the turtle kind of starts to go down back underwater. And so that's where things kind of sit. That's where we're at. Does anybody want to do anything?
I'll lay on hands on Daminar to make him conscious again.
Okay.
Yeah.
For a 1 hit point.
Cool. He's got a hit point. He's not here. Ferrul comes up and, Hugh takes Daminar down below decks to rest and recuperate. They're pretty much gone. At this point, you guys are on deck with Ferrul and Shago. You can either interact with them, or at this point the captain lets you know that you're probably about half a day out from Port Nyanzaru. So you guys can either finish up any business with any of the people on the boat that you want to, or you can just kind of let the arrival to Port Nyanzaru happen.
I think I've had enough excitement for one trip.
Cool. Anybody else?
I'm good.
Okay. So, hard wipe. Give me 1 second. There you go. So we'll say it's coming towards evening time. As you guys get closer to Port Nyanzaru, a couple hours go by, and as you guys pull in, the Port of Nyanzaru is a giant sheltered bay with giant tropical cliffs around it, and just untamed jungle on it, probably looking almost something like some of those beautiful vistas you see of the Hawaiian Islands, right? Just green, ending in sheer cliffs, and then nestled in the middle of it is a moderately sized city. You can see there is definitely a harbor that is protected from the area around it. Let me give you guys the map so that you can see something while I try to paint word pictures. Here we go. Show to players. Show to everyone. Of course, in beautiful fantasy map fashion, this map is tilted, and the harbor actually faces northwards. And so this is two little peninsulas jutting out from all of this jungle. And you can see that the city kind of has two different levels. There's a whole bunch of little mesas almost within the city, with some very large and beautiful buildings on them. As you guys pull closer, one of the most striking things about the city of Port Nyanzaru is the sheer variety of color and flowers and foliage built into the city itself. Every building is painted in vibrant colors. The walls of many of the buildings, even the shabbier looking buildings, have murals of dinosaurs and birds and other fantastical things on them. And it almost looks like people have taken to building flowers and plants and growing things into the terraces of the buildings around them. And it's just a very shockingly vibrant city set against this backdrop of steep green cliffs. You can also make out that behind the city there are three major cliffs that kind of lead to a few valleys moving back from the city, so it's very obvious that that if you want to get out of the city, if you don't leave by water, you're going to be going through one of those pathways or kind of continuing to sail south of the city towards the eastern side. And then as you guys are pulling ever closer to the city, once you're a few hundred feet from the harbor and the ship is slowed down, you see from the sky there begins to come down a giant dragon, or not a giant, but a dragonborn man with gold scales, who kind of takes a few flaps of his wings and settles on the ship, confers with the captain briefly, and then walks over to you guys and says, "Hello, my name is Zinder. I'm the harbor master for Port Nyanzaru. Well met, travelers. I heard you had some trouble with pirates on the way here."
We surely did.
Well,
One made the captain mad.
well, we were the captain, who I forgot to create as a character, so it doesn't really exist in this scenario. So sorry about that. Yes, he was very impressed with your actions and commended at least some of all of yours help in repelling the pirates. Seems like it was a bit of a mixed bag, but welcome to Port Nyanzaru. I wish it could have been under better auspices, but I am the harbor master here, so welcome. I think since you've already tasted kind of some of the life of the seas out here, and since you have dealt with it capably? Capably? I can't speak anymore. I've been home too long. Oh my god, my brain just went blank. Since you've already met some of the pirates on the sea, I wanted to give you a little bit of information, and since I also knew your ship was coming, and you have some high-value personages on it, part of the reason I'm here. There's a few options once you get into the port. I know that Prince Wakanga is going to be leaving soon. You'll have your choice of inns. I can have some guards assist you in getting to the inn of your choice once you land, especially since you helped protect one of our princes from an attack. And also, if you're interested in continuing your fighting against pirates, please come back and see me at some point. I'd be more than happy to discuss some of the opportunities for adventurers like yourself there. Do you have any questions?
By opportunities, you mean like hunting down pirates for you?
Exactly. We have a few pirates for these waters. As you saw, our wonderful dragon turtle, and he says this with not the happiest of sounds, the turtle helps keep the pirates away from the harbor, but once you get outside of the harbor, there's a little bit too much despoiling of the precious cargoes of the port for many people's taste. So seeing folks such as yourself who are capable of at least repelling, a ship of that sort, there's definitely some work, and we could discuss terms and particulars of kind of which ships we're looking for and what we're offering for reward for those. Does anybody else have any other questions? Otherwise, I pretty much wanted to thank you, let you know that I may have worked for you. Otherwise, I will be on my way.
I got nothing.
Flap, 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 flap. Yeah, so there you go. Zinder flies off. At this point, you guys are kind of clearing that gateway. Inside the harbor, you see Zindar flies off to the west. I think there's a little spot on the map kind of dead north of the harbor. That's where his office is if you need to go find him. Once you get into the harbor, you can see that it has 3 main sections. In the middle of the harbor, dead in the middle, is a giant multi-story statue of a, to be blunt, beautiful, traditionally ornamented Chultan prince, standing with a spear in an open hand. So that dominates the middle of the harbor. To the west, or the top of the map, you can see there is a protected seawall and an even more secluded harbor that appears to have some very nice ships. Some might even call them yachts, docked there. Directly ahead of you, to the south, is what is very obviously the warehouse district, where all sorts of ships of trade are loading and unloading cargo. And then to the east, kind of where you guys are starting to turn, are the more common merchant ships, or passenger ships, or even fishing ships. And you guys are kind of pulling over in towards that area. As you guys get closer to the docks, all of the guides and all of the various crew on the ship are starting to get up to the top and get ready to go. As you're almost ashore, Prince Wakanga comes up and asks you all, so it seems that you all have a choice to make of where you're going to stay tonight. Would you like to go to the Thundering Lizard or Kaya's House of Repose?
Thundering Lizard. Can we check them out? Just have a poke around and...
Sure,
I think they were described to us briefly last time, but I don't remember.
Yes, just to remind you, the Thundering Lizard is a very raucous, lively inn. In fact, I think Volo will be heading there to try and ply some of his books. So if you've enjoyed Volo's company so far, you may get more of it if you follow him there. Kaya's House of Repose is a perhaps calmer, more refined establishment. You'll pay a little more there, but both are fine establishments, and they're both in the same part of the city. So if you wanted to, you could. I believe they're actually kind of kitty corner from each other, so the choice is completely yours.
I want to go to the place where people know how to enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
After getting off a boat, I'd be fine with that. Never was much of one for sailing.
Well, I will have a few of my guards escort you as soon as we get off the boat. I'll also leave you with directions to my villa if you're interested in discussing anything more, especially after your assistance with the pirates and with your work for our mutual friend. Please feel free to visit my villa. His villa is up in the north part of. Sorry, I hate how they flip maps like this.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Irritating.
Yeah, right.
I agree. It's irritating.
And so.
Yeah, I want a map of the United States with California on the top.
Right, that would be super useful. He actually motions as you guys have been talking. Some of his people have been coming up the boat. He had some cargo, and he waves down one of the guys, and they give you actually a physical map, like a visitor's guide to Port Nyanzaru map. And he points out that
And it hopefully points out all the places where we can spend money.
all the places. I mean, that's the whole city, man. But just so you guys know, to give you some idea of what's going on this map, the top of the map, that's the rich merchants ward. That's where that rise in the middle is where all of the merchant princes live, including they mark on the map where Wakanga's house is. It's one of the houses on the westernmost above the temple in the middle of the kidney thing there. I don't know. It's above 7. That's where his house is. They note that if you kind of go southward across that bridge, there's another giant mesa. That's the Golden Palace, where the merchant princes tend to go do official business. The other kind of big landmarks that we can point out are that 6, that Triskelion-looking thing. That's the Grand Bazaar, which is where all of the kind of fancy stuff gets sold. Everything except jewels gets sold there. And then if you move pretty far south, so if you go to the harbor, east. If you go to the harbor on the east side, the bottom side of the harbor, if you kind of cut through the middle of city, there's a little spot in the market ward called 18. That is where both of these inns are and where some of Wakanga's men are going to escort you. Just kind of help get you there, unless you guys want to do anything else at this point. And if you want to ask the guards any questions about this map, they're more than happy to chat with you about what's going on. So this is a awesome chance to get some exposition of the map if you want any beyond what I've told you. Ba-doop, boop, boop, boo.
No. Oh no, right. Like I mostly just need to take a long rest so I can
Yeah, okay.
all that sort of shit.
That's fine. Wakanga also notes as you guys are leaving, he says, if there are any guides that you would like to meet, please let my guards know, and I can arrange to have any of the guides in the portfolio that our friend provided to you come meet you at whichever inn you choose. And then he waves and kind of goes off and gets in a palanquin, and his people pick him up, and he's rich. He's getting carried away. He's having a good time.
Suppose any of you have preferences?
Hello.
Hello there.
Rio.
Real. Okay, never mind.
You there?
Yes.
Hello.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You
Okay.
hear me?
Good
Is
lord.
that you, John Wayne?
So
Jesus.
let's see how I can make these public to everybody. So there are 2 inns. Where's the option that lets me show this to everybody? How do I always show this to people? Explorer mode? No. No. That's annoying. Okay, well, I'm going to move you guys to the Thundering Lizard to start. Does anybody want to do anything on the way to the inns?
Really?
Okay. So, it's not that long a walk. It's about maybe a mile and a half till you get there. Once you get to the Thundering Lizard Inn, you recognize it immediately by the giant Tyrannosaurus Rex skull that is hanging above the open patio. The open patio being this area is an open bar. That is above it. You can see on the upper level that there is actually even kind of a mezzanine bar up there in the middle that is overlooking this bar down below. It looks like Volo is starting to set up in a corner, kind of back here, because he's going to start launching into his shtick soon. But this whole first floor is just the white part here is an open air bar. The top part is enclosed within the building. If you go out the back door here, there's a beautiful little enclosed patio, and that is the Thundering Lizard. There are many people of all sorts kind of milling about in this bar, and you can definitely rent rooms if you want. Since it's early evening, it hasn't gotten completely ridiculous yet, but people are starting to pile in and starting to enjoy their libations. And it also looks like Volo may be arguing with a bard to try and get him to leave.
Well, we should probably go see what Volo's up to.
He's up to the same shtick he was up to last time.
Yeah, I know, but like, why is he like getting it to a fucking punch on with a bard though?
Okay, so as you walk up behind Volo, you see kind of some palms literally being greased with a few pieces of gold, and the bard starts walking away. Volo looks back. Lyokin, was Volo the one, or was it Sebastian? Who did Volo rope in?
It was me.
Sebastian? So did
I
you?
was there with him, so.
Okay. And so he sees you, and you kind of see him kind of look at the bard real quick and look at you, and then crack a smile and say, "Ah, my companions from the boat. It was so exciting. You handled those pirates amazingly. I might write something about you in the next guide. Are you going to stay and help me tell more tales of the monsters we might encounter?"
I'm gonna look around the crowd and see how many people are like already paying attention to Volo.
At this point, nope. I mean, a few people, because he's got his big pantaloons.
Yeah, well, and he just like paid the bard to scurry off. Like, if the bard was in the middle of performance, people probably noticed that he stopped.
Let's say the bard had not quite gotten going yet, and Volo was interceding.
You probably pointed this out earlier when I was looking at something else. Like, whereabouts is Volo right now?
Sorry, give me 1 second.
Just remembered how to ping things.
Sorry, real life intrusion. 1 second.
No problem.
Unacceptable.
I'm gonna get a fresh drink.
Shit, this inn even has a tower. What the hell? That's awesome.
Hey, sorry. The bottom right corner of the screen is where Volo's starting to set up. Around the bottom right corner of level 1.
Bottom right corner, level 1. So like close to the bar.
Here, sorry. Yeah, there you go. Right down here.
Okay.
So he's essentially got his trunk full of books. He's just kind of trying to get set up. He's right next to the water.
What a nerd.
Yeah, so he can intercede with people. I do want to take one moment because we've got Rio and Owen both here now. Would you guys want to be at this bar or in this area?
Yeah, that sounds good.
And Rio, the only question I have for you is, I don't know if I caught an answer or not, but did you say that you were not from this area? Or did I?
No, I was not, no.
Okay. So the way we're going to play it, I don't know, did you have a chance to listen to anything before you got here, or have you been busy?
No, it wouldn't let me listen, like it wouldn't load.
Oh, okay. So basically, you got summoned by this very old archmage, and told that there was some sort of curse happening that was it's preventing people who have ever been resurrected from death from resurrecting again, and they're all also slowly withering. So she was hiring adventurers to go to Cholt, which is where this port city is, and to try and find an artifact called the Soulmonger. And you arrived I'm just going to say you accepted her job proposition and arrived within a day or two prior to this. You have an extra 100 gold off of whatever your starting gold is because that's what she fronted you. And so you are kind of aware that a second group was coming. So you would have actually kind of been expecting to see a group of adventurers arrive with the same mission as you. Does that work for you?
Yep, works for me.
Cool. So I will say, as you guys come to this bar, or this inn, you notice a large Aarakocra, a big bird person, sitting at one of the tables amongst all the other guests. So we have one person talking to Volo, and that's kind of where we're sitting. Owen, are you here or are you somewhere else?
I'll be here, kind of in a corner somewhere in the bar.
Okay. So that's where we're at. Sorry to interrupt and do that. Does anybody? Do you want to keep talking to Volo? What do you want to? Where do we want to go from here?
I want to survey like the patrons of the bar. Like, what sorts of folk do we see out there? Like, are these people look like they're city folk, like harbor workers, or these people look like they spend time out in the jungle?
So it's a good mix. Most of the people at this bar look like kind of middle class, normal-ish, the equivalent of blue-collar Choltians who, these aren't the merchant princes, these aren't even necessarily the people who work directly for the prince, these are the people hauling carts, people working at the docks, at the bar. You haven't seen anything upstairs, so you don't really know who's staying at the inn. You do see that Shago and Hugh have both come to the bar. Hugh, the one-armed dwarf, is yet again sitting quietly drinking beer by himself. He's kind of up on this little balcony right here, just kind of by himself surveying things. Shago is kind of walking around carousing. He's a very amiable person. Likes to talk as much as he can about the Order of the Fist to anybody who will listen. You also notice a lot of people let Shago talk to them. And you might remember that he is the son of one of the merchant princes.
Yeah.
So it may be his charming wit, or it may be the fact that he's a minor celebrity.
He's got family connections.
Yeah. Let's see. Is there anybody else of interest in here? Owen, the Roka guy who has been talking to you, is not trying to talk to you right now, but he is definitely here. He's a very nondescript. Nobody else notices this guy. Sorry, I just have to let Owen know. Roka is here. at the bar, kind of behind where Volo is setting up, wedged in between the bar and the wall, is just a giant board of guides, just like a board with little flyers for all the different guides, just dozens of guides. All of the guides that you guys have handouts on, they're up there, and there's a few others. And so yeah, the bar is slowly starting to fill up. Volo is going to start trying to corral people into doing stuff, or listening to him, sorry.
I don't happen to know where he's staying, do I? Like, in the
Volo?
room. Yeah.
You don't know. You don't know if Volo has checked in. You just know that he is here.
Actually, yeah,
He's
he just arrived, so.
yeah,
no.
like you guys all arrived together. Like you, Shago, Hugh, everybody arrived here together because you all got off the boat together. There also appears to be a kind of regal-looking elf woman, or at least a half-elf, maybe a full elf, kind of sitting quietly out in the garden area if you bother to go back there.
Yep.
And she only stands out just because this is Chult. You know, the other thing you notice, there's actually a lot of albino dwarves. I don't know. Do any of you have? Let's see. It'd probably be. What kind of check would it be? If anybody wants to do a in wisdom history or intelligence history, depending on which way you want to do it. Well, what does it say?
Wait.
Int,
what's-
int
what's-
history.
Just
It's
rolls
int
with the
history.
default stat.
Go ahead, Sebastian.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that it just rolls with the default stat. If you wanted to use an alternate stat, you'd probably have to do a manual roll.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Cool. Yeah. So then it's just a history roll.
Oh, rip.
Oof.
Oh wow!
History.
Let's see here. So I got to scroll down. So Sebastian got a 19. Ted got a 15, and Sareth got a 15. So all three of you are aware that there was a. Wait, you got a crit 19? Doesn't matter.
Yes, that was a nat 20.
Yeah, so I just had to look at that for a second.
Like,
You know.
literally the one in character.
Yeah.
Rolled a 2.
Yeah. So you guys recall that there was actually a race of you're not sure if they're dwarves or if they're Duragar, but there's definitely an albino race of dwarves native to Chult. And you recall that something happened that drove most of them above ground at some point. Let's see here. There is no such thing as a crit on a skill check, is there?
Not in
There's
fifth
not.
edition, no.
Okay, then that's what you guys know.
Yeah, auto success and failure is only on attack rolls.
So you're aware of them. That this is not like this is a normal race for Chult, maybe not normal for other parts of Faerun. Kind of one of those oddities of Chult. Yeah, and then you do see here and there there are one or two tabaxi, which are cat people, and then there's obviously one Aarakocran, but yeah.
I would like to go up to Shago and ask him about his dad, or whichever parent is a merchant prince.
Okay, so cool, yeah. So you grab Shago while he's carousing, and he's very happy to see you. No, he doesn't know you. He doesn't know you at all. Sorry, you walk up to Shago, and you grab his attention, and he says, hello, who are you? Who are you? What can I help you with?
I'm just a nobody citizen, and I'm just curious as to who your dad is. Why does everyone seem to know your dad? Very, very solid question.
Who's your daddy?
You are just the most tactful motherfucker,
dad.
aren't you?
I have significant tact. My intelligence is off the chart.
It's something, all right. And Shago just kind of looks at you and sobers up for a moment, and he says, "My father is dead."
Oh, jeez.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
But was your dad a merchant? A merchant prince?
I can tell from your accent you're not from around here, are you?
No, I'm not.
Yes, my mother is one of the merchant princesses of Chult, and my family controls the gem and jewelry trade. Was there something you wanted to know? I'm sure there's somebody in the Grand Bazaar who could help you.
Oof.
I guess I'm just curious as to how the process works. How does the whole governance work with, like, what's the bit, like, if you could just sum it up.
There's 7 princes and princesses. They're the most powerful merchants in the city, and they rule everything. My mother has ruled since we threw off the yoke of the Omnians some decade ago, and the other princes have done the same. You do live in the world of Faerun, where the idea of an anarcho-syndicalist commune is probably unheard of.
I mean, to be fair, in the real world, that's something I haven't heard of, so.
There's some lovely filth over here. So yeah, he has just explained to you that there are princes and that they rule the city, and is kind of confused as to why this is a puzzling concept.
Okay. I don't know how to follow up this question. I'm just gonna nod and walk away.
Quickly bounce off.
Awesome.
Detective skills.
Yeah. Great. Okay, so Shaco just kind of shakes his head, pats you on the shoulder, and kind of keeps walking and talking to people.
Get me away from this weirdo.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, you can tell he's not. Yeah, he doesn't want to talk to you anymore. Oh boy. Okay.
Wait. So you said there was an elf like hanging around the gardens, right?
Yes, there is an elf hanging around the gardens.
Sweet. Sarah tries to talk to her.
So you want to go talk to her.
This guy. Oh, I'm already in it. Cool. Thank
Hmm?
you. I was just checking to make sure my character token was actually in the garden.
Yeah, we'll say she's sitting by the pool, kind of over here. So if you want to go talk to her, that is fine.
Cool.
She is, so she has kind of muscled blonde hair. She's as you get closer, she definitely appears to be a half-elf. She has a blue cloak that's covering almost her entire body, which seems a little weird because it's very hot in Chult, but she's still wearing the cloak. And she also has a red pseudo-dragon, which is a small dragon-looking creature that's about 2.5, 3 feet long, that's just kind of chilling on her shoulder / crawling down and nibbling at a plate of food she has in front of her.
Not like a familiar or like an actual pet?
Well, it is a pseudo-dragon. And that's all you know about it right now, unless you want to try and investigate it in some way.
Might as well ask her about it, or just say nice dragon.
And she kind of looks up and goes, "Oh, well, yes, I do like him. He's been my friend for quite some time. I'm sorry, have I met you before? Do I know you?"
Can't say I have, but wouldn't be missed to have a new acquaintance around these parts. I'm new to this area, you see.
Ah, well, my name's Zendala. I'm obviously new here too. What's your name?
That would be Sareth.
Ah, well, hello, Sareth. What brings you to Chult?
Well, me and my crew just landed here after dealing with some pirates, so we were hoping for a bit of R&R and getting to know the area.
Ah, Are you planning on heading out into the? I mean, I'm assuming you're planning on heading out into the jungle, but do you have any idea where you want to go or anything like that? I mean, I'm assuming you're going to the jungle. Everybody here wants to go to the jungle.
Yeah, that's true. But I go where the wind takes me, to be honest.
Okay. Wonderfully vague. Well, I'm here for a reason myself. So my father. So I'm actually. I don't know if you've heard of him. Artist Simber is my father. So I'm Zandala Simber, and I'm worried he came here some time ago and just vanished without a trace. So I'm trying to find my father. We're probably I'm trying to find somebody who wants to go up the river Shoshoshin so that to try and find some remnants of him. I've heard he might be in the Eldani Basin. There's some rumors that sound like it might have been him, but yeah, I'm looking to find somebody else going that way and see if they're willing to help. And she kind of looks at you with the doughiest of eyes.
Oh, that is such a cheap shot. Jesus. Yeah, alright. I'll take it. Fuck it, why not? I mean, yeah, I'll be glad to have a look for you.
Well, are you going to look for me, or are you headed that way?
Yeah, I mean, I suspect we're going to be in this port for some time, so we might as well have a look into your situation as well.
Okay. Well, I'm staying here, obviously. I have a room here. I mean, I'm gonna keep trying to find people to actually go to the basin, because the basin. I mean, if you're not aware, it's a good couple days, maybe a week or two even. I don't even know the distance as well, but I know it's up the river some ways, so it's more out of the city than in the city. So if you go there, or if you're even willing for me to come with you, I'd be more than happy to join you. And I'll pay my way through my share of the trip.
So while these two are talking, I'm just gonna kind of like slowly make my way out and like walk up and just stare at her dragon.
So your bird eyes are just gonna stare at the dragon?
Yes.
Are you actually trying to intimidate it, or are you just being
No.
creepy?
No, I'm just walking out and just looking at it, and then like I'm just gonna wait until she looks at me.
So she is busy. Really, she's narrowed in on this fellow half elf in front of her.
No, that's fine. I'm still gonna stand there and wait until she looks at me.
What?
And so-
half elf? What are you talking about?
What?
That's not a half elf. What are you talking about?
What is Sereth?
Just
Wood
a
elf?
full wood elf.
A wood elf. I'm sorry. Elf.
God damn it! Such a racist.
I know. You know what? They're getting rid of race in D&D apparently. So whatever.
What?
Oh Jesus. We can talk about that later.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Just let Sarah attempt to like get in the pants of the nearest like chick that she saw.
Well, whatever. Okay. So, so she's gonna keep talking to you. Basically, same thing. While this is happening, eventually, as you keep boring your, I'm assuming you have beady eyes. Is that true, or is that? Not?
Or until the dragon
bird
looks
eyes.
at me.
Okay.
I'd rather the dragon looks at me, actually.
So the dragon flops up and flies and lands on your head and looks back in your eyes.
And I just, like, calmly look at him and I go, are you coming with us as well?
And the dragon cocks its head and just kind of makes this silly sound and then flies back to Zandala. And she kind of looks over and she goes, "Oh, hello. Are you together?"
I suppose we have the same mission. So, yes. I was admiring your dragon. Is he or she coming with us?
I think Summerwise would be very happy to come with us. I don't travel without him. Sareth, and Eric Hochran, who you have never met before, has walked up behind you and started
Yeah.
speaking in the
Be
Wii.
like, hang on.
Well, and then, like, as soon as I figure out that the dragon's coming, I'm just gonna, like, abruptly turn around and walk off.
You're alright.
That's all I cared about.
Wow, cool.
Zendala looks at the retreating Rio and the befuddled Sareth and just kind of looks back and forth and says, okay.
Oh, this is amazing. Yeah, so... Shit, like, she's already agreed to go to the...
Aldani
thing
Basin.
for, I guess.
She wants to go, she wants, if anybody's keeping notes, so yeah, she wants to go to or hear news about the Aldani Basin, which is apparently upriver, up the Shoshone River. And I may say Shoshone differently next time because I'm not staring at the map. But it's the Shoshone, Shohonen?
Shoshin Star?
Shoshin Star. Look at this smart guy. This smart guy.
The one that has the ruins of Camp Righteous and the newly established Camp Vengeance on it?
Yes, that would be the one. So apparently somewhere up that river is something called the Aldani Basin. And that is where she wants to go.
That amusing interlude aside, I would be honoured to take this quest, and if you were to grace us with your presence, I'd be more than appreciative of it.
So
We'd have better chances going together.
is anybody nearby besides Rio at this point?
I literally just went to,
Yeah,
like,
still
the
hanging
nearest
out by the
table,
bar.
sat down, and started drinking, like, completely fucking ignoring them. Like,
Which is like right
I'm
there.
still, I'm definitely within earshot, but I am not, like, overtly paying attention to them at all.
Okay, cool.
Still
So-
there. I'm gonna
yeah.
get rid of that actually, so I guess
Yeah, there you go. Sure, yeah, you're just creepily sitting there in all your Eric Hochran glory. So at this point, just as a recap, so you guys now know that this half-elf girl wants to go up the river, past these camps. As a reminder, you spoke to Sir Pettibone on the ship. He is apparently going to be heading up to Camp Vengeance. He is staying at the Fancy Inn, not this inn.
Oh,
So,
of course.
well, it's just more expensive. This inn costs about twice as much. Or the Thundering Lizard is about half the price of Kaya's Repose. Let's see. Yeah, so you've got Pettibone is going to Camp Vengeance. You know about this lady wants to go up past Camp Vengeance, apparently based on the map. And then Shago is going to Fort Beluarian, which is in the exact opposite direction. And then Hugh Hackenstone hasn't really offered anything, just you're aware that he has axe will travel.
Yeah, he said he's willing to take us anywhere we want to go in the jungle.
Yep, you just got to pay him. And then there is a list of other jungle guides that I gave you guys if you're interested in. So that's kind of what you guys know so far. Does anybody want to do anything? Do you want to check out the other inn? Do you want to go to sleep? What you want to do?
Well, just hanging around the bar. Is anyone given weird looks towards the gun, or is that something that they might have seen before?
We've never seen it before, I don't think.
I mean, people have glanced at it, but based on the number of races that you have seen here, as you walked into town, just based on how ostentatious even the mundane parts of this town are.
They're not surprised.
Yeah, your gun is a curiosity, but it's not like it's not like you were walking in a peasant village, you know, up in the Sword Coast, right? Like,
Yeah.
this is a fairly metropolitan town. You already get the impression that although Port Nyanzaru is pretty far away from what most people would consider the known world, there is a lot of wealth and a lot of trade going through here. And you've also figured out that, you know, there's mercenaries from Baldur's Gate, there's the weird colonial craziness of the Order of the Fist. Like, there's a surprising amount of people, culture, and whatnot coming through this place for a old place. Or a little old.
Gail would pretty much be asking the barkeep how much the room is.
That's a very good question. And give me 1 second, Rio.
Actually, give me just a minute. Let me fix my AC.
Yeah, do you guys want to take a quick, like, 5-minute bio break, and we can come back?
Sure.
I'm going to do that because I also need to stop my recording and restart it, and I'll be back in just a minute. And I want to load up some items for you guys.
Oh, that's good, because I need to steal some shit.
No, it's good. I think I'm gonna switch up how I'm playing my Anarchy mode. These are dumb.
Oh, cool. Nope.
Nope.
Stupid Roll20. Thought I could upload 2 files at once, but I couldn't. I love how I just get to wait until it decides to load. No, I'm just talking in general, Owen. Just generally talking.
I'm still not over being the one intelligence character and rolling fucking 2.
Tell you, I have literally a menu for
Well,
this
to be
place.
fair, that's less an intelligence and more a wisdom check, wouldn't it?
No, history is
No.
intelligence.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, sure.
Dice do not like me this week. I've got a gunslinger in a Pathfinder game who calls herself the Pink Mist because she's a serial bullshit artist and it's a stupid name and she's so bad at her job that she has to live in a dump with a garbage drow. The party now calls her the Pink Mist.
See, I see the problem. You keep playing gun characters in fantasy settings.
I wanted to fuck around.
It's like
with
you
it.
like guns or something.
Well, I mean, he's American. Aha.
Yeah, and I cannot stress this enough.
Ha!
Whoa.
Exactly.
Just next time, just try and just eat the microphone. Okay. Let's see here. Well, apparently I can't upload anything anymore, so I'll just tell you how much this costs, because I had a menu, but I can't upload it, which sucks. Okay, are we still waiting for anybody?
If you're not here, speak up.
Wah wah. Okay. So basically, the price for rooms here, if you don't want your meals included, it is 6 silver a night for a normal room, 5 silver a night to stay in the dorms. If you want your meals included, just double that, and then if you're feeling real saucy, you can get a honeymoon suite for 9 silver a night, or 1 gold points, or 1 gold and 4 silver for meals included for the honeymoon suite. Recommended occupancy on the honeymoon suite is 2, but y'all do you.
And this is the cheaper place?
Well, yeah. It's not that expensive, really, for an inn.
That bad.
Well, I guess for a city so awash in wealth as this one appears to be, I guess it's not.
Wait, how much gold? We should have tons of gold. Like, as far as I
Yeah,
can tell.
but
I got 40
usually,
sitting around.
usually adventurers are like ridiculously rich compared to ordinary people.
Oh, yeah. But then again, this inn, while middle class, that's not it is pretty kitted out compared to like most inns that I'd see in a D&D campaign.
Yeah, that's true too.
Like,
Yeah, we're at the
this
fucking
thing's a
Hilton
fucking-
here.
Yeah, this would be like an upper class pretty much anywhere else.
And this isn't even the nice inn.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you said this
Party
is
inn.
this is the rowdy place. It's like, okay.
Oh, hey, you know what I can do? Hold up. Tomb plot. Boosh. Watch this. That's not it. God damn it. I don't want desktop, you motherfuckers. There we go. First one of the night.
What's that?
I said you motherfuckers for the first time tonight.
Yeah.
You okay there, Owen? If you guys look in Tomb Plot in just a moment, there should be a menu. Did that work?
I see some dragons. Dragon turtles.
I think something's just wrong with this file. I think that's what the problem is. Anyway, we've also spent like an inordinate amount of time talking about the menu. So that's the Thundering Lizard Inn. Yeah, rooms. If you want to go the cheap route, it's 5 silver a night. If you want your own room individually, or you want to split rooms, it's 6 silver a night. You could stay here. You can go check out the other inn. It's up to you.
Sarah wants to ask the elf that she's been. Actually, wait, no, because they've agreed, but she won't leave the city yet, will she? Until they're like ready to go on.
So she implied that she's looking for other people to. Pretty much, she's implied that whoever offers to take her to Aldani Basin first, she'll go with.
Huh. Yeah.
Because she's looking for her dad.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I get that. Alright, Sarah would probably book a room of her own as well. But, assuming we're all doing that as a group, we'll just do it whenever we want.
Well, yeah, I was gonna have Gail book her own room.
Okay, is anybody going to sleep here?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll
Yep.
make that.
Okay. Is anybody not going to sleep here?
I sleep outside.
Of course you do. Rio, are you still around?
Do they have laws against that kind of thing here?
Probably would, like vagrancy.
No lollygagging.
I mean,
I don't care about the law.
if you want to
law.
if you want to sleep outside, you have to go outside one of the 3 gates to the slums, and then you can sleep wherever the fuck you want. If you try to fall asleep on the streets of the city proper, that will not end well. You'll get roused.
Like the
I
dogs.
will meander my way over to the slums.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Let's see here. So who is still here? Everybody's still here except for Owen, and I think maybe Rio is still getting a drink or something.
I'm here. I'm just also talking to my girlfriend. So
Oh, okay. Is there anything you want to do right now, Rio?
Is anybody else going to the other end?
No.
Then I guess I'll just go get a room and go up to my room.
Okay, so yeah, if you're doing your own rooms, it's 6 silver a night unless you want food, and then it's more. I'm not gonna get too Nazi-ish about it. Just make sure you're deducting a bit for stuff.
6 silver was it for how much? A room and
Yeah, so you each get rooms somewhere on that second floor. You just aren't in. Well, we'll just say that you guys kind of book out the most of the second floor except for the honeymoon suite in the dorms.
As in Aarakocra, do you sleep standing up? How does that work to sleep as a bird person?
You just sleep.
On your wings?
I mean, you could sleep on your side or on your stomach, or I guess on your wings. I'm sure either of those options is more comfortable than trying to sleep standing up.
well, not for a bird. Birds always do that, don't they?
Maybe I just curl up on my bed. Why do you care? I'm in my own room. All right, leave me alone.
Just
are you,
bust
the
into your room to see how you
Maybe I'm
sleep.
hanging upside down like a fucking bat. Maybe I open the window and just go flying off over the bay for shits and giggles. You don't know, all right?
Maybe he hasn't stopped flying for 3 years. He can't stop flying until he mates.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. Sebastian.
Yes.
As you're making your way up to bed, Volo is kind of winding down his attempt to peddle his guide to monsters.
Right.
And he kind of pulls you in, and he looks happy, so he obviously made some money, but he says, "Oh, are you gonna go to the dinosaur races tomorrow?"
Dinosaur races? What are those?
He literally, his head cocks
Oh.
back, like you punched him in the face, and he just looks at you and he says, "What?
I've never been here before.
You've never even heard of them? I talked about them on the boat.
Oh,
can
right.
go.
I'm sorry. I may have had one too many to drink.
We could go, you can bet, or you can even ride the dinosaur. Well, you have to have a dinosaur, but you could ride one of the dinosaurs. I have to go tomorrow. Do you want to come with me?"
I can ride a dinosaur.
Maybe.
That sounds fun. Let's do it.
Okay. And then as you're talking about this, Farul appears in front of you. He's been apparently drinking at the bar this whole night, and nobody noticed him because he's kind of pathetic.
Fair, actually.
But he bumps into you and Volo, and he definitely can't even stand anymore. And there's this little gnome next to him, like this wizened old gnome, which you assume from the pamphlet that you were given is Gondolo. Gondola says nothing, and Farul drapes his arms around both of you and says, "Dinosaur races. We have a Triceratops."
Yes,
You-
I think you mentioned it before.
You want to ride it?
How hard are they to ride?
Great! And he starts falling backwards, and Gondolo kind of like hits him from the back, and he stumbles forward. And then Gondolo just kind of quietly takes him and starts leading him away, and just kind of like backs at you and winks. And so it looks like you may be riding Farul's Triceratops at a dinosaur race in the near future.
This isn't
Well,
just
that
like a
sounds awesome.
euphemism for his cock, is it? Like,
You don't know it until you try it.
well, I've actually heard that pickup line before as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
What, when you were
Okay,
dressed up as a
Melvin-
lady
Melvin
boy?
I
Hey,
have to
Bob, you're
applaud
good.
Armory, and that is kind of creative.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, so with that you can go to bed. Unless you want to do anything else. And
Wait, can Sarah take like a short rest and a long rest at the same time, just to like cast a spell?
sure.
You must
Short
be
rest.
really rested.
Everybody goes to sleep. You wake up the next morning with all of your abilities, spells, and whatever recharged. You're fully done the next morning, or fully not done.
Seems suspicious.
Okay,
Okay, but I casted like good berry overnight then.
you did good berry overnight.
Yeah, so I don't eat up a spell slot for during the actual day.
Oh, so you now have 10 good berries.
Yep.
Can you describe good berries? I want to know canonically how we're handling good berries in this campaign.
Are they real good?
Apparently. Actually, how do you display on VTT? Try that. Yeah, that.
What did you display?
Oh, I put it in the Roll20.
Oh no, I was looking for like a description of the good berry. Like,
Yeah, it has one in there. It
How
basically
big is
they-
this good berry?
no, it doesn't. It just says what they do.
Oh. Well, they
All it says is that you get up to 10 berries. Like, are
They're
these
real
like
good berries.
the real good
Yeah,
berries?
like, one of them is enough to sustain a person for a day. That's pretty fucking good.
Okay, does it sustain you or does it satiate you? Like,
It says sustain, so I'm guessing it's like what exactly it.
Berry provides enough nourishment to sustain a creature for one day.
okay, cool.
Like, she's not gonna eat one. Like, she already just got in food, so it's just for like to have
Emergencies.
healing or something on standby. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Fair enough. Then morning rolls around. You can all wake up. I don't know. Do people wake up early? Do people wake up late? What do people do?
Well, Sarah only needs like 3 hours to sleep, I think. 'Cause
Yeah, I stay up kind of late and I get up early since. Wait, do half elves
Gale is out cold.
No,
get
half
like
elves
the
get
4-hour meditation like elves do? I forget.
Should have to look at that.
Do I have to look up elf sleeping? Is this a rule that I have to come up with?
Ah, it's 4 hours that elves sleep for. Or meditate, I should say.
Sure, yep. You don't need to sleep. You meditate deeply, remaining semi-conscious for 4 hours a day. So your long rest is, I guess, 4 hours?
No, long rests are still 8 hours. So, but you just don't have to sleep all of them. And it's just full elves. Half elves don't get it too. They get the unless I'm missing it somewhere.
Okay. So while you guys figure out whatever else is going on, does anybody do anything abnormal, or does everybody kind of wake up at what would be considered normal wake-up time for most sentient races?
No, not really, because like she needed
Yeah, I
a
just
long
wake
rest.
up
anyways.
normal time and like do my little awkward bird walk out into the freaking into the bar and I sit down and I'm like, I'm gonna get some breakfast.
Okay. So what do you eat for? No. Little did you guys know.
Tries to feed him seeds.
We're playing Shenmue, the fucking video game. Okay. Okay. So does anybody want to do anything? I mean, at this point, it's morning at an inn. The people who are here, if there's anybody here who is drinking, I don't know if you even want to try and talk to them because they're probably the scariest motherfuckers ever.
Yeah, who drinks first thing in the morning?
People who work night shift.
That's fair.
Yeah. Okay.
Should I
So
not?
there's some third shift people drinking. Otherwise, you guys had rented out most of the place. So it's pretty much you guys and like one or two randos in the corner drinking after what appears to be a night of working. At this point, there's a note that the barkeep waves down you, Sebastian, and says, "There's a note from Volo for you." Apparently, Volo rented out the honeymoon suite. You figured out, but you didn't see anybody else go in there with him.
Right.
But he rented it, and he left a note saying dinosaur races, 2 p.m. And then the last bit that it says is Old City. So apparently, yep. So you guys basically have the morning and part of the middle of the day to either explore the city or do nothing. It's up to you guys.
I want to buy some provisions.
I'm going to... Oh, that didn't work. Okay, you should have a better map of Port Nyanzaru right now.
That is a better map.
So you guys, can you see the numbers or no?
On this, no.
Okay, let me go to the GM layer. There it is. Now you should be able to see the 18. Did that just pop up? So that's
18,
where you guys are. You're down there. The Thundering Lizard is just kind of due north. Kaya's Repose is just slightly southeastish. So you guys are kind of like opposite sections of this area. The Old City is far to the north, and where you need to meet Volo is the number 1 spot. And then the things that have been pointed out to you.
That's actually southwest.
Sorry, you know what? I have to give up on this orientation because they did the thing where they turned it. So kind of right here, where I'm pinging in the sort of middle of the map, that's the Grand Bazaar. That's anything that can be bought or sold, you can get there. If you look down here at the item where it says 19, which is just slightly northwest of you, or northeast, depending on how you want to orient it, that's the Red Bazaar, which is where you get more mundane stuff, for what it's worth. And then other items we can kind of explore as you guys want to or not. So if you want to just get supplies, you can either go to 19 or you can go to 6. You can either go to the Red Bazaar or you can go to the Grand Souk, or the Grand Bazaar.
I'll go to the Red Bazaar.
Okay. What kind of supplies are you looking to? Does anybody else go, or is it just you?
I've got Gale going to the Grand Bazaar.
Yeah, so I have to tag along just for shits and giggles.
Where are the slums on this map?
The slums are there's 3 slums. There's Old City, which is to the top of the map. There's Malar's Throat, which is in the middle of the map, and there's the Tariki Anchorage, which is the south of the map, or the bottom of the map. Blah blah.
Okay, I get up out of Tariki's Anchorage, and I'm slowly making my way towards the red one.
You discovered last night that, amongst other things, Tariki Anchorage must be where they store all of the dinosaurs outside of the city. The pens in Point 25 are all of the dinosaur pens. You know this because your feet now have a very distinctive odor from stepping in copious amounts of dinosaur dung as you tried to find a place to sleep.
Gross.
Lovely.
That's awesome. Did you get being cheap?
For what it's worth, the gates to Tariki's Anchorage, which are right here, those were not closed over the night. So there are gatehouses to each of these so-called slums, but they don't necessarily close at night. So Gale and Sebastian are going to the Red Bazaar. Is anybody else going?
I'm gonna go to the Grand Bazaar.
Yeah, I actually had Gale going to the Grand Bazaar, not the Red one.
Okay. Split the party. So I'm going to do the Red Bazaar
This is where we all
first.
die.
This is where we all die.
We're split the party.
So Sebastian and Sareth are going to the Red Bazaar. On your way there, you don't have very far to go, right? You've got about 5 or 6 blocks or so to go. When you're walking under the bridge, kind of halfway there's this giant bridge that connects 2 mesas. You hear some commotion from the mesa to your left as you're walking, and that sounds it sounds like there's a stadium there of some sort, because it sounds like there's crowd noise coming from it. But as you walk under that bridge, a Chultan man, thin, scraggly, hair completely disheveled, just jumps up in front of you, stares intently and kind of creepily at you and says, "Speak to the wise guardian of Orolunga. Go east of Mbala." And then he falls over and passes out. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, weird. Probably just a crazy old man.
Fair enough. Do you do anything with him, or do you keep walking?
Like, I'll check and make sure he's just passed out, and like not that he just like keeled over and died.
Nope, he's good. Like, he's breathing. He's not dead.
Like, so is he, like, he in the middle of the road now, or is he like off to the side?
Yeah, pretty much you're under that giant bridge. And he's just like jumped up, yelled at you, and for all intents and purposes passed out on the ground.
I'll at least move him off to the sides where he's not likely to get trampled.
Cool. Do you wait for him to wake up, or do you keep going?
I'm gonna keep going.
Okay. Sarah, do you keep going?
Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy.
So you get to the bazaar, the Red Bazaar.
Yep.
What are you looking to buy there?
I want to buy some insect repellents.
Okay. There's kind of 2 ways you can get it as you start talking to the merchants. It appears that there's one way to get it in blocks of incense. And when you burn them, they last for about 8 hours, and they keep insects keep them away from you in about a 20-foot range. So you can get these bricks of incense, and those are a silver point apiece. There's also a salve that they have in these cute little gourds. They're a gold apiece, and they have about 20 uses of this greasy, odorless substance, and the sellers there claim that this will keep normal insects away from you for at least a day.
And how many uses are there in one of these things?
About 20, they say.
Oh yeah, you said that.
So it's 1 gold for the salve, 1 silver for the incense brick.
Is there a food stand nearby?
I mean, there's plenty. Like any
So are there flies?
at the food stand?
Yeah.
I mean, sure, there's some.
So I'll buy one of the things of the salve, and I'll open it up, like close to the flies. Do the flies like go away?
Like you open it and like put it next to a fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of move away.
All right. Cool. So yeah, I'll buy 2 of those.
Okay, so mark that down somewhere.
Yeah.
So that's 2 gold, and you get approximately 40 applications of insect salve.
Stuff go off? Like,
Huh?
well, does it like go off or expire or anything like that? The insect stuff?
According to the merchant, they have never held on to any long enough to see it go bad.
Okay, well, I'd buy some insect repellent too, that salve stuff, I guess. How much was it again?
1 gold for what they're saying is 20 uses.
I get 10 things of it.
Okay, so mark down somewhere that you've got 200 uses of insect salve.
I'm paranoid. Plus, I stole a whole bunch of gold, so I'm kind of loaded at the moment.
Okay, so I'm gonna split for a second to the other group. Gonna kind of just jump back and forth. So I think Rio and Gabe, you were going up to the Grand Bazaar.
Yep.
Okay. So you have a pretty uneventful walk because it's the morning. You do pass up here. You notice that there is definitely a slum over there, full of dilapidated huts, and it looks like they've even built giant, almost suspension bridges across this valley. This slum is in the middle of a steep-walled valley, rising out as it goes back into jungle. So this looks like one of the paths out of the city, but it's just a pretty hideous slum. And you see it as you walk by. And then as you kind of pass the slum and get up, you're in between this big wall that separates the harbor and specifically the warehouse ward from this giant tented pavilion. This pavilion is probably 30 or 40 feet tall. And it's the edge of it you see goes back at least a couple of 100 feet. It has giant flaps pulled back. As you walk into this bazaar, you notice a few things. The first one is you can smell literally every smell ever smashed into one place. And it changes as you walk by each stall, right? There are stalls full of spices. There are stalls with exotic animals that stink. There are stalls with cooked food. There are stalls with raw meat. As you walk through, it's all of these smells all mixed together. And because you're under this awning and you're in this humidity, it is intense and hot. And there are just people barking out in common and probably 6 or 7 other languages, barking to get your attention, barking to sell anything you could imagine. So it is hot, it is loud, and there is everything under the sun for sale. You can see about 200, 300 feet down, there appears to be some giant rotunda under the tent that you could go towards. And you are in the Grand Bazaar. What would you like to do here?
Well, given the smell, I've got something for this. Unending breath. But, Gale is mostly going to be looking around and seeing if they can find anything in the realm of exotic-looking trinkets, interesting-looking pieces of weaponry, or anything that might be an arcane little curiosity that someone might be selling, or may appear that they have no clue what the hell it actually is.
So there's hundreds of sellers here, running the gamut of every saleable item you can imagine. So if you spend enough time, you can find any of those things here. The question is, how long do you want to spend, and is there something like do you have a goal with this?
Not particularly at the moment.
Like, you're in the most impressive bazaar you have ever seen. That's what this is.
Like, at this point, they're literally just browsing like, ooh, this is neat.
Sure.
I want to just wander around and see if I find anybody that has either new ranged like weaponry, like bows, or any kind of interesting like arrows, or like fancy fletched arrows or something.
Sure. So in addition to every mundane item, like every normal type of weapon you could want, you find all of those. There are one or two dealers that have magical ammunition. Mostly arrows, but pretty much like any sort of ranged weapon you would want. There's a particular stall where the vendor has all of these items. And then, let's see here. Sorry, you're asking for ammo. What was the other thing you were asking about?
If there were any, like, magical bows of any kind.
Magical bows.
Or just fancy bows.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely find fancy bows. If you want a magical bow, there is a vendor who says that they could probably have something commissioned for you. But that it'll definitely be something that'll be pricey.
What kind of price are you speaking of?
Gonna make me look this up. More than 100 gold, that's for sure.
Too expensive. And then I just turn around and walk off.
Yeah. So I don't think you guys can afford any of the magical +1 items at this point. Like it's definitely out of your monetary range. Sorry, real life. I know I looked it up because magic weapons are way harder to get in 5.
Oh yeah, no,
than
they are pricey.
Yeah. So you're talking at least 1,000, maybe more gold, to even start the process of commissioning this. And I promise I will look that up before next session, but I know you guys can't afford it right now. The magical ammunition, so like if you want a magic arrow that increases your chance to hit your opponent, that's 50 gold an arrow.
Also too expensive. Just turn around and walk off.
The merchant says, "Come back now."
I literally don't even, like, look back. I just keep walking.
Yeah, I think most of the +1 weapons range somewhere between 500 and 1,000 gold, depending on what they are.
Got an idea. So that merchant,
Which merchant?
No. the guy selling the fancy looking weapon.
Okay.
Sorry, 1 second. So here's a question for you, and Gail's gonna heft the rifle that they've got. Looks like you've got an interesting collection out here. I don't suppose you might have an interest in one of these.
By these, do you mean the
The
rifle
gun.
you're holding?
The gun, yeah.
Oh, I mean, we could probably negotiate something. I'm always willing to buy.
Oh, this one in particular I may be a bit attached to, but I do think I'll be in town for the next few days, and I am always looking to. Shit, my brain just froze up for a second there.
He's just staring at you.
I'm always looking to make an interesting sale. If you'd be interested in perhaps buying one, I could probably build one for you at a reasonable for-cost price.
He holds out his hands to let him see the gun you're holding.
Gail's gonna tentatively hand it over, but first just make sure it's unloaded.
So he picks up the gun, hefts it, and you can tell that this man has more experience with a rudimentary firearm than you would have otherwise thought. He sights it down. You notice at this point that there are also multiple guards around him that you hadn't quite noticed before, but there's definitely guards all over this place. So he sights it down, looks at it, opens it, actually clears the breech to inspect it, closes it, and hands it back to you. And then says, 20 gold.
Excuse me?
20 gold. I mean, it's certainly a nice firearm, but I don't think you've been out in the jungles much, have you?
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, you have a very fancy weapon here, certainly, and I'm sure it can do plenty of damage, and I'd be happy to buy it from you, but you have to consider, I have to resell it, or I have to ship it back to the mainland, and unfortunately, a bow and arrow is much more reliable than a complicated firearm such as what you have presented to me here, not to mention having to supply the ammo for it. So, I am sure in your hands it is a very capable weapon, but I have to think of my market, and I will offer you 20 gold for it.
Yeah, I'm
this
just
guy's
gonna.
a born again pawnbroker. This guy's a born again pawnbroker. I love it.
This damn bastard's lied to me.
I feel like I've completed my goal for the night. The pawn shop guy just told me I did an okay job at shutting somebody the fuck down, so I feel pretty good.
Yeah, Gail's just gonna kind of look to the gun, look back to the guy, look to the guards, look at the stuff on the table, and just kind of
Just walk off.
and
Better
just
get your
kind of
gun back
stumble off, muttering under their breath.
Do come back, do come back. No, oh.
Did you get your gun back from him?
Yeah.
Oh, he gave it back. Yeah, he gave it back. He didn't
feel
take
like
it.
I was just like,
I feel
damn,
like
now
you're
that
saying
is
that
awesome.
from experience, Rio. There's a
Uh,
story behind that
I
question.
would never. No. Never.
okay, well, you guys deal with your disappointment. Let's jump back to the other group. Let's see.
I can't believe we just got pawn starred.
I'm just glad I pawn starred somebody.
Like Rim, of all people.
Owen, what are you up to?
I'm still making my way to the Grand Bazaar.
You're going up there too?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say you arrive as Gabe is having his avaricious dreams broken by this horrible traitor.
Okay. I'm walking and I walk by this transaction. I notice the gun and I'd like to just. I note to myself, I'm like, ooh, that's a nice gun, and then I keep moving. And I'm not looking for anything in particular. I'm just kind of doing like my daily rounds of kind of just like eavesdropping on what people are talking about.
Okay, you're trying to listen into anything specific?
I want to say yes, but also no, because I feel like my character is kind of dumb. So he's just like trying to listen to anything related to the merchant prince, the merchants, the princes of Port Nyanzaru.
Well, here, I'm gonna give you, I don't know, do you know how to roll 100? /R space 100. Yeah, just roll it. /R100. /R space 100.
I think you want 1D100?
Oh yeah, oh wow, won't let me do that. That, but with a slash in front of it. Okay, so let's see here. So you hear a couple of there's definitely a shellfish merchant and what looks like an adventure, and you can't tell if it's true or not, but the shellfish merchant is regaling this adventurer that there was once a peaceful tribe of people called the Aldani, and they made the god Ubtao angry by eating all of the lobsters in the river that they lived by, and that as a punishment for this, all of the people that used to live in the Aldani region were transformed into monsters. And the adventurer looks horrified by this. And there you go.
Wait, you cut out.
He said transforms.
Transformed into monsters, and the adventurer looks horrified by this. And that's the one bit of gossip or rumor that you managed to pick up while you're walking around the bazaar.
Sweet. Okay.
Okay, we're going to go back to the Red Bazaar with Sebastian and Sareth. I can keep character names straight. I keep wanting to say Lyokin, but you're Sareth.
Yeah, I mean,
Sorry.
all good.
Anyway, so back to you guys. What y'all up to?
I also
really?
want to buy one of the rainwater or dew water or whatever it is.
Oh, the rain catchers?
Yeah.
Look at you guys actually like preparing for the fucking wilds and stuff.
Everyone else wants to buy like guns and shit.
That's called preparing for the wild.
He wants to sell his class feature. That's what he's trying to do.
No, I wanted to see if he would be interested in commissioning another
No.
one.
But Sib, we need to get you a bow and arrow because it's more reliable.
I've got a light
more
crossbow.
practical.
So you find a merchant selling rain catchers. They're simple contraptions with a leather tarp and a frame, and then it just kind of funnels water down into a bucket. So you literally have the world's simplest water catcher. They cost 1 gold apiece, and the merchant tells you that they can create about 2 gallons of water per inch of rainfall, and the bucket holds about 8 to 10 gallons.
Cool.
A gallon? Oh,
A gallon, it's like 3 liters.
yeah.
Huh.
You need about a gallon of water, 2 gallons of water a day when you're out.
4 liters, about. Yeah.
Yeah, 1.5 gallons a day of water to adventure in the jungle.
Yeah, we're pretty hot there. Like, I could boil water, but I have the feeling that would be very slow.
Are you talking to the merchant about this, or just thinking about this?
Thinking about boiling water. But
Okay.
actually, I might as well ask him, like, is there any kind of particular nices and shit like that we should be looking out for when it comes to, like, boiling or even just catching the water?
Says, well, if you drink the water straight, you're probably going to get throat leeches, which
Yeah,
is
gross.
about as good as it sounds. If you have... Yeah, it's not very good. If you have a way to boil a lot of water, I mean, it depends on how many people you have, right? Like, because what do you need? Like 1-2 gallons of water a day. So you're boiling 1 to 2 gallons of water a day per person that you have out in the jungle. Good luck burning jungle wood right away, right? Like, it's not dry firewood. So, haha! And he points back at all of his rain catchers. The beauty of these, put one of these out, it rains every damn day in the jungle, you get your water.
Yeah, that's fair. Though, like, I would point out that Sareth doesn't really need to... Actually, he would know that, no. But, like, Sareth can just produce flame, and she can just kind of burn things for as long as she feels like it. It's like 10 minutes a use or something. But it is a cantrip, so it's basically unlimited use.
I mean, the question is, how long do you want to sit around burning water?
Yeah, that's true. Not very. I'd get bored of it.
Didn't somebody have a decanter of endless water?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he doesn't have that yet. He doesn't get that for level 5. You can get that, maybe?
I think, yeah.
I think I'd get shaped.
The alchemy jug, and just as a metagame note, the alchemy jug does not give anywhere near enough water for a party.
Yeah.
I think it gives 8 gallons of water a day. which that's going to be enough for 3 to 4
Couple
people.
Yeah.
And that's assuming you don't have any other issues.
Right.
So, or any other use for the alchemy jug. Anyway. Yeah, so anyway,
Yes.
rain catchers are a gold apiece.
Cool.
Yeah, you
I'd
can
buy one.
buy Yeah, I'll
Mark them
buy,
down.
3 of those.
just buying for the family, man. It's like fantasy Costco up in this bitch.
I mean, he kind of is. Like, she's already hauling most of the shit in his car.
Fantasy Costco, where all of your dreams come true.
I just love how Lauken in every game we ever play is just like, I'm just gonna buy everything.
You know what he did last session? He broke
What?
he broke into Volo's room on the ship and stole a third of his money.
2/3 actually. I left him a third.
Oh, you left 2/3? Yeah.
I left him the spare change, so I would have been immediately suspicious that I was nicked shit.
I forgot about it, and apparently Volo's been making enough money off of his monster manuals to not give a shit.
Yeah, even though I like walked away with nearly
You should
100
go
gold.
rob him again.
Just
Yeah.
his whole campaign
That's
is you just
legit
keep
what I was
robbing
planning to
Volo.
do.
Okay.
Like, I was going to check his room.
Okay, guys. Anything else you want to do in the Red Bazaar?
So is it
I
rain
also
catcher? Yeah.
I also want to buy 5 javelins.
Sure. Javelins are at the normal price.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't have any weird price changes. Most things here are at normal price, just because of the volume of stuff in the market. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so you have your javelins. Laoken now has the infrastructure for the entire group as per normal. Gonna go drop some citadels for us in the middle of Chult.
Don't worry, I'll give you an hour warning.
Okay, so then we're going to switch back to everybody over at the Great Souk or the Grand Bazaar. What are all y'all up to?
Don't all speak at once, Jesus.
Owen, did you fall asleep?
Knock knock.
Oh, Owen is not asleep. He's just not doing anything.
I was getting a drink, sorry.
Okay, do you guys want to do anything else at the Grand Bazaar?
Nah. I'm done getting ripped off.
I mean, you didn't get ripped off.
The offer
You
itself
nearly
was
did.
insulting.
I mean, how do you
Scorned.
price a class feature item?
100 gold and 3 days of work.
Nah. Don't you know the rule of selling stuff? You never buy shit for what you're going to sell it for. Come on. Anyway, okay. If everybody,
Am I right? Rookie.
Yep.
maybe if
Sarah's
this,
made 100 gold in like 1 afternoon.
tell you if this,
Well, not all of us are prostitutes.
Yeah, well,
oof.
if by prostitute you mean thief, but yeah, okay. I'll just happen to lose your share of water and food then.
I love it. This party's just going to kill itself. It's going to be fantastic.
When you're wounded and left on Afghanistan's plane. I'm glad that at least someone gets that.
Okay, so if you guys got up at, let's say, 8 o'clock, it is now about 10 o'clock in the morning.
Dragon races, dinosaur.
That's at 2. So you got about 4 hours of time left to either explore or do nothing or whatever.
Can't think of anything. Already got all our supplies.
What's the deal with the dinosaur races?
So how do
Is
they
that
work?
still happening today?
Yes, that is happening shortly. So you have kind of 2 options. Does anybody want to do anything before the dinosaur race?
Well, I mean, I want to make my way over there, make sure everybody knows that I'm riding, and I want to go down there and figure out like what exactly I need to do.
Okay. So you show up to that spot 1. And it looks like, so Ferul's there, he's looking pretty hungover. Gondolo, again, is looking like kind of a weird little creeper and not talking. Volo is there, kind of trying to get people's attention and also stopping Ferul from falling over. So what you see in this area as you walk through the gate approaching that point 1, and I'm going to assume everybody else is going to make their way there at some point and you're going to see the same vista. You walk through this gate into the old city and you see 2 giant ziggurats on either side of you. And there is a bridge about halfway up between the 2 ziggurats, probably 75, 100 feet in the air. There's a bridge, this rickety bridge connecting the 2 ziggurats. There are essentially shanty towns built on the lower halves of these ziggurats. And it gets sparser and sparser as you go up. As you walk through this area, let's see here. Anybody who walks through here make a... Just do a perception roll.
Rip.
Let's see. Sib. Rio, when you come through here, do you fly or do you walk?
Oh, I didn't do my modifier, so it's 11. I was gonna fly up like onto the roof and like walk along on the roofs.
Awesome. So you're exempt from this. And actually, you see exactly what is happening here. So I gotta do some rolling. So Sereth, Ted, and Sib, you each lose 9 gold points.
What?
And here's what happens. Rio, or you see this as you fly over that bridge. There's a couple of urchins sitting on that bridge, and they have perfected the art of dangling fish hooks on very thin lines down and literally fishing coin purses and pouches and other things off of people as they walk between these ziggurats. And so, Sebastian, you kind of noticed a glint or something like you felt like something brushing your hair and you just kind of brushed it away. So they didn't get you, but the rest of you, you all lose a couple of gold pieces equivalent of stuff that you had that was easy for them to kind of pick off of you. And as you walked by, they zipped it back up onto the top of that bridge. Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure that's a sort of trap people use in marijuana grows.
Well, there you go. And so then
Kill them, right?
I mean, do you want to try and kill them? There's kind of a delayed... You're not going to...
You don't even know they're there.
Yeah, you haven't
Yeah.
even noticed this.
Yeah,
like,
but
you don't
you
even
two
notice
fucking
this.
noticed.
Well, Rio's flying in the sky, and Sebastian just kind of brushed this thing away like a spider in his hair. Because it's a very thin line. I guess, Sebastian... Go ahead.
Can I sneak up behind them, like go into stealth and just like, because I'm sure they're focusing on what's below them. So then I just want to like kind of like slowly creep up behind them, and then I want to try and pick their pocket.
So you're gonna land. So I'm gonna describe a scenario here, and let's see if this works. So you see this, and you land on one of these ziggurats, and then you try to walk out onto this bridge without anybody really like noticing, and then do a pickpocket maneuver.
Well, I thought they were sitting on like a archway that was connected to a building. Is it not?
So do you see on the map right here where I'm pinging? Is that working for you?
That's it.
No.
No.
Oh, you're too far down.
Oh, up
Scroll
there.
up.
Okay, yep.
Scroll up. Yeah, right there. So that bridge. That's a
Okay,
rickety bridge. Yeah. So like there's literally like urchins sitting up there, like they literally just like lower these things down, and as people walk by, they just kind of yank and get stuff, and they get it up. And so it's, if you want to try and get onto that bridge, you can do that fine. You're not too bad. But if you want to try to do a pickpocket, you're going to have to do a sleight of hand roll on one of these guys. And yeah. Yeah, you're going to have to do a sleight of hand roll on them. So whatever your modifier for that is.
Yeah, fuck it, I'll try it. Hold on, sorry. No, I did something wrong. Other way around.
1d3 plus 20? What?
Slash and then R.
Yeah, I did the R backwards.
Okay. Roll 2d6. So you do, with everything that's going on, with the people starting to filter in, starting to queue up for the executioner's run and the dinosaur race, one of the urchins is distracted enough that you actually manage to, as you walk past him, grab one of the pouches that he snatched from somebody else, and you got 4 gold.
Nice.
So there you go.
And then I just kind of like take off and leave again.
Caw-caw!
Yeah.
Start
This is
pressing
my money
away.
now, bitch!
I'm just imagining Dave Chappelle with wings right now.
Basically.
There you go. Well, that was a DC
I'm
15.
rich, bitch!
Okay. So for those who aren't flying, as you walk under this bridge, you come across, or you open onto a vista. There's one more smaller ziggurat to your right, and then there's a pit in front of you. It looks to be about 250 feet long. The pit itself is about 15 feet deep, and it is full of tiny little Deinonychus dinosaurs, bones, scraps. For all intents and purposes, it kind of looks like a giant chicken wing bin that people have just been throwing their bones in. And then kind of at your end of it where you are, there's a variety of dinosaurs with saddles and riders waiting to race. There's, let's see here, there's a young Tyrannosaurus Rex, there's a young Triceratops, there's a Hadrosaurus, which is a kind of two-legged herbivore that's about 7 or 8 feet tall. There's a couple other dinosaurs. There's a very big-looking Tyrannosaurus Rex hanging out. And then there is Volo standing next to Ferrul and Gondolo, and a kind of unfortunate-looking Triceratops that, as you approach it, just lets out the loudest, deepest basso fart you have ever heard. Like, it shakes in your bones, and you might wonder if you really want to race on this Triceratops. But
Does
there
that
you
help
are.
it go faster?
You might. Sorry. So, Sebastian, are you riding this Triceratops?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So you show up.
Yeah.
As I said, Ferrul is not looking the best. Gondolo is being his usual silent, creepy self, and Volo is standing there kind of excited and expectant. And as you approach, he says, "Ah, you've come. Well, I don't know if Ferrul is going to be able to help you, but I've got this Triceratops saddled up, and really all you have to do is this giant pit in front of us. All you have to do is try to get around it. 1 lap, that's all you have to do, and just don't die." And he kind of pats the Triceratops and looks at you expectantly. And I'm assuming the rest of you are kind of...
Me to die.
Oh, you know, the other dinosaurs, perhaps. Just don't get too close to them. And as you see, there's how many other? There's what, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's about 9 other dinosaurs. So this is a 10 dinosaur race. It kind of becomes apparent that the race is one lap around this giant pit. It looks like some of the, there's some herbivores, there are some carnivores, and so the way that Volo explains it is basically you have a couple of options. One is to kind of just treat this as a straight sprint, just try and go as fast as you can, get around, get to the end of this pit, take the turn, come back and cross the finish line. The other option is to try and harass or attack the other riders. So you kind of have a couple options. The final option is that you can whip your Triceratops as you're racing, and that essentially, if it works, he's going to go a little bit faster, and if it doesn't work, he's gonna get a little bit fatigued.
Okay.
Who here even has animal handling?
I haven't trained.
So do I, but that's part of the druid thing, I think. But
Right. Yeah, you're probably. You're probably going to be better at it than I am because I'm guessing you probably have a positive wisdom modifier.
yeah, +5 to animal handling.
Yeah, I'm only at +2.
I mean, I could get Sarah to ride it, I guess, instead. Maybe, I don't know.
So at this point, Farul literally passes out. He is so hungover from the night before that he can't do a goddamn thing. You're beginning to wonder if this man has ever even been in the jungle that he claims to guide people through. Is anybody not here?
Killing right in his head. Everyone should be here, shouldn't they?
Yeah.
Like after the 2 market things, we just kind of got back together and.
I want to ask some questions.
Sure.
How many races has this Triceratops run in?
Volo looks at Gondolo, and he holds up 5 fingers. Gondolo shakes his head. He holds up 10 fingers, and Gondolo shakes his head. And he just makes a fist with no fingers, and Gondolo nods.
Okay then.
How many has it won?
Volo looks at you, looks at Gondolo, kind of cocks an eyebrow and holds up the fist with no fingers again, and Gondolo very slowly nods.
Outstanding.
Who do they
I really like our chances.
acquire this Triceratops?
I mean, it's not costing us anything, so I mean, shit.
Yeah, I
why
know,
not?
but
So, at this point, while you guys are debating who wants to ride this, there's a guy wearing, I guess it's kind of like a black and white robe. It's a black robe. He's got a white stole. He's got a white belt around it. He's got some white things tied around his arms and some white feathers tied in some white bands above his knees. To your knowledge, this might be the Port Nyanzaru equivalent of a referee. And he is walking towards your group, and he says, "Ah, are you racing the Triceratops today?"
Oh, yeah. Why not? Give it a crack.
Fantastic. We have a heat with 4 other dinosaurs. It looks like we have got Big Honker, a T-Rex. We've got Banana Candy, who is a pretty nice Hadrosaurus. We have got Jungle Princess, who is a little Deinonychus with a new jockey. And we've got Mountain Thunder, which is a Dimetrodon having its last race. Would you like to join that one?
Sure. Like, unless anyone has any objection.
no, I don't object.
Now let's see, does anybody want to place any bets on this race? I know you guys are racing, but if you want to place a bet, you can definitely do that, and I can tell you what the odds are. And again, we have a T-Rex, a Hadrosaurus, a Deinonychus, and a Dimetrodon.
I mean, I know what a T-Rex is, but
Hmm?
it's been a while since I played Ark.
You know what the T-Rex is and nothing else?
Pretty much.
So basically, you've got the T-Rex, which is this T-Rex's name is Big Honker. He's a crowd favorite. He's won a fair number of races. The odds for him are not the best. I'm sorry, the odds of him winning are pretty good at 7-1, so you're not going to get a big payout. The Hadrosaurus, it's a two-legged herbivore. He's got 3-1 odds. Jungle Princess is a tiny Deinonychus. So he's just bigger than a person, and he's got a pretty frightened jockey on him. He's got 1-5 odds, so he's not likely to win, but he's got a pretty good payout if he does.
Wait,
And
the T-Rex is 7-1?
yeah.
Bro, I'm about to ride that fucking T-Rex. That's great odds.
Yeah, well, you get a seventh of your wager if you win.
Oh, no, that's not 7-1. 7-1 is you win 7 for each one you put down.
Okay, well then, fuck this book. Because it does odds wrong. I'm just telling you the odds, like, straight out of the book. I guess I'm reversing it. It's 1 to 7.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Okay, so the T-Rex, you get a seventh of your wager. The Hadrosaurus, you get a third of your wager, roughly. Jungle Princess, you get 5 times your wager. And the old Dimetrodon, Mountain Thunder, you get 7 times your wager. I'm going to put the player at...
Oh, Arm comes in just in time.
I'm going to
for
put...
the dinosaur race.
Oh, did we get Art? Or Arm?
Oh, yeah.
And then for you guys, he kind of looks at you all and says, that's a pretty farty Stegosaurus right there, Triceratops right there. But I'll give you straight up 1-1 odds. If you guys win, we'll double your money.
Oh, sick.
Am I doing that right, Rio? I don't fucking gamble. I don't know.
Well, come on, Rhea. You're in like Gambling Central.
Anyway, okay. Does anybody want to bet on anything?
No, I don't want to bet.
Yeah, nah. I'm good. Fuck it. If I need money, I'll steal more. I'll just ride the dinosaur, see what happens.
So nobody's gonna bet. We're just gonna go straight for the race.
Crickets.
I think my brother might be passing out. Okay. So the umpire walks away. I'm gonna take a 30-second break, and we will do a dinosaur race.
1 time.
Okay, I'm back. I think my brother's about to pass out, so there we go. Cool, okay. So, who's writing? Is it Sareth or is it Sebastian?
I'm pretty sure it's Sareth.
Yep, sorry, I was grabbing noodle.
Grabbing noodles.
I have to live up to the stereotype sometimes.
Mm. Okay.
That's good.
So the way this works, just so you guys know, so I'm being fair, is basically each of these dinosaurs has an animal handling check for its jockey. Who do we lose?
Well.
Sid? Yeah, we lost Sid. Okay.
Dang it. Oh, he's back.
Sorry, my computer decided to fucking die.
Wow.
I'll let not do that. It's bad for you.
So the way this works is it's kind of abstracted, but we have a 200-meter race, and your animal handling check each turn determines if you advance. And so you have a couple of options. If you roll your animal handling check straight and you pass it, you get your dinosaur's speed bonus. In this case, a Triceratops gets 50. So in theory, 4 accurate animal handling checks are going to get you across the finish line. Your DC is going to be 14. That said, you have an option to either instead whip your dinosaur to try and make it go faster, in which case, if you succeed, you'll go further, but if you fail, you're at disadvantage the next turn. And then finally, you can also choose to, instead of racing, you can attack. And each dinosaur, yeah, you can attack the other dinosaurs and or riders. They all have stats, so if you want to do that, you can go ahead and do that. I'll roll for the other riders. But as soon as you guys are ready, they start ushering all of the riders in this 5-rider race to one side of this big pit and getting everybody ready. The referee walks over to you guys and says, do you have any questions before we get started? I know it's your first time.
Can I buy a carrot, a piece of string, and a stick?
He looks around and literally a merchant runs up with all these things and he's like, 40 copper, 40 copper.
40 copper, fuck me.
There you go. You toss it to him, he smiles, runs off. You've got your carrot, your stick, and your string.
I tie the string around the carrot and the other end of the string to the stick, and I hand it to Sereth and say, "Here, use this instead of the whip. Just hold it and pull it."
I mean, it works in World of Warcraft. It's like a 5% mount speed increase. So.
They got rid of that like 5 years ago, man. Come on.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Okay, anything else before you guys get started?
Don't think so. Oh wait, I can look at the other riders, see what like their armaments and shit look like.
Yeah, so nobody has weapons per se, right? But you've got Big Honker, which is a T-Rex. This is a healthy-looking juvenile T-Rex. So it's not, quite as big as it could be, but it's a big old T-Rex. Yeah. You imagine it might be pretty good at biting things. The jockey on it looks confident. Young Chultan man. Nothing particularly stands out about him. Next to the T-Rex is a little Hadrosaurus called Banana Candy. Again, another female Chultan rider. Looks pretty normal, like nothing crazy about it. Next to that one, you have Jungle Princess. This is a Deinonychus, which is a smaller two-legged monster. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but that's what I think a Deinonychus is. This has a gnome who looks absolutely terrified to be there on it. Just doesn't. You don't understand why they're there, but there they are. And then finally you have Mountain Thunder, which is an older Dimetrodon. This is a quadruped dinosaur that just seems to be placidly gazing and has an older an older mainlander rider who just seems kind of at peace with his lot in life, much like his Dimetrodon. So,
Just trying to have a look if aha. Fucking knew it. I actually might win this race because Longstrider works on touched creatures.
oh Jesus, what does this do?
That's 10 to movement speed.
It adds 10 to the
Yep.
movement speed?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so do you have to cast this, or how does this work? How long does it last?
Yeah, I cast it and it hang on, where's the just gotta figure out how to fucking where are we? Just had it now.
You said Longstrider? Is this in the player's handbook?
Yes.
Work? Yeah.
Oh, hey, first level transmutation. You touch a creature, it's... Wow, first that lasts a while.
For
Okay.
an hour, that's fucking ages.
Fuck, okay, I guess you cast that on your Triceratops before the race starts?
Yep.
The,
I need a pinch of dirt too, that's fucking handy.
the referee looks at you and winks and says, any last bets?
That's awesome.
Fucking love being
Oh.
a druid.
Can I still bet?
Sure.
Actually have money.
I'll bet 15 gold on Lauken.
Okay, 15 gold on Lyokin. Armorine literally bursts through the gate. A couple of those hooks bounce off of him, and he says, wait, what'd I miss? And Arm, do you want to bet on a dinosaur race?
How much money do I actually have? Because I haven't been keeping track of shit.
You have 100 plus whatever your starting gold was.
I have no idea what my starting goal was. Shit.
Okay, you have 100 gold.
Alright, put it all on Laokin.
All of it? What? You're fucking crazy.
You better win.
Oh my
And the
God.
referee literally, as you put that money down, the referee says, ready, set, go! And the
Shit.
race has begun. So, okay, I got to do some rolling here because this is crazy, and I have so many skill checks to do. Let's see here. The Tyrannosaurus, gets a natural 20 and just
Fuck.
bolts 50 feet out the race. Banana Candy, the Hadrosaurus, they pass, and that guy gets 40 feet out the gate, so they're a good chunk all the way down. Thump, 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 thump. The Deinonychus utterly fails. The Deinonychus with the scared jockey on it literally is just like running in circles. Which the jockey honestly looks a little bit relieved. And the Dimetrodon leisurely walks about 30 feet down the course, and let's get your animal handling roll. DC is
Okay.
14.
For its shit roll. Oh, that's not too bad.
Great. So because of your somehow your Triceratops literally like lets a giant rip go, and somehow kind of
Jet propelled.
Rocket.
hop jumps about 10 feet past the T-Rex.
Yes.
At this point, the T-Rex looks at you and he's pissed. And let's see here, 13.6. Oh, the T-Rex actually tries to snap at you as you go by, but misses.
son of a bitch.
Just misses.
I flip him off.
Okay, so now we're at the second round of the race. I'm going to go in the equivalent of initiative order. The crowd is surprised. They were expecting the T-Rex to come out strong, but now it seems like there's a few people chanting for the Triceratops. Let's get another animal handling from you, Sareth, and see if you keep this
Oh
going.
shit. Oh, look at that.
24, Jesus Christ. Okay, so you lunge out even further in the lead, propelled by a miasma. Behind you, some of the crowd, the chanting of the crowd seems to kind of die down as you pass, because they're literally passing out. The T-Rex, pissed off, tries to keep going and fails, turns and bites at the Hadrosaurus, and hits it, just taking a chunk out of the Hadrosaurus, and that Hadrosaurus is pissed, so it's going to get advantage to run the fuck away. The Hadrosaurus is going to get, oh my god, a horrible roll, and as it tries to run away, it trips and falls. And doesn't get anywhere. Back at the starting line, the Deinonychus with the terrified gnome rider is still trying to figure out what is going on, and let's see here. Finally gets going in a straight line, and how far does he go? 40. Just barely catches up to the Hadrosaurus that tripped, and the slow but steady Dimetrodon
Just have to be here.
keeps plodding along. The Dimetrodon has now reached the point that you hit at the end of your first turn of this race, but you know, he's happy with it. So let's see here. You're about half the way down the course. The Dimetrodon is now actually in second place. The T-Rex is in third place, but appears to be trying to eat the Hadrosaurus. And the Hadrosaurus is fallen, and the Deinonychus is about to catch up to the Hadrosaurus. Let's see, you're in first place, so go again.
Okay. Hey.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You're sprinting. You hit... Yeah, you hit the turn and just blaze past it. So you've gone down one end of this pit, you've hit the end, and you're coming back the other way. You actually make it about half the way back the other side. Let's see here. The leisurely Dimetrodon keeps plugging away. You know what? He's just about to hit the turn. So he and his rider are quite happy. They've passed everybody else. At this point, the T-Rex is going to see if the rider's going to see if he can gather his wits and get this thing turned around, or utterly fail, and it's going to attack the Hadrosaurus again. This time he just misses, and the crowd's kind of pissed because they have never seen this T-Rex do quite such a bad job in this race. So he's still stuck at that point. The Hadrosaurus stands up, and in a stunning display of resolve, runs forward and hits the turn of the pit, and then the Deinonychus with the terrified gnome on it manages to catch up to the Hadrosaurus. So now we have a four-way race, actually. The T-Rex is in dead last place somehow. Pretty much confused by bloodlust. Sereth is in the lead, and everybody else, the Hadrosaurus, the Deinonychus, and the Dimetrodon are all kind of clustered at the turn. So roll one more time, Sereth.
Oh boy. Fuck.
Oh, yeah, your Triceratops suddenly gets confused, farts, and stops. It seems to be maybe stunned by its own stench. And I'd like you to make a Constitution roll for me, Sereth.
Oh shit.
Just straight Constitution. There is no defense against. Ooh, you fail. Your next roll is at disadvantage because you are retching from the awful scent of what is coming out of this Triceratops's butt.
Well, the other riders didn't. They were fucking behind me.
Well, they haven't caught up yet. They've got to catch up. You've just been going so fast. So now the Dimetrodon is actually in second place, and he plods along. Ooh, he's getting close. He's going to have to make a check next turn because he's starting to get up to that cloud. And let's see here. The terrified gnome sees the stench cloud but can do nothing to stop himself from hurtling towards it. He is neck and neck with the Dimetrodon. The Hadrosaurus is also coming up. So, wow, we have a three-way tie. They've all caught up with each other. And they're all about to run into the cloud of gloom that you have left on this course. And, oh, Jesus. At this point, the Tyrannosaurus has gotten confused and is trying to snap at bystanders. Has no fucking clue what's going on. Okay, Lyokin, you're still technically in first place, so roll at disadvantage. Roll twice and give me the lowest.
Oh shit.
Well, congratulations. As you come out of the stupor of your Triceratops as a ferule site, yeah, you make it past the you come back all the way around the pit and cross the finish line. So somehow you managed to win. Let's just see what happens with our remaining dinosaurs.
They'll die from
So the Deinonychus manages to keep plodding forward. He makes his counts. The rider, this placid old man, nothing. He just walks through it.
Hell.
He just walks through it,
Fucking nice
and
and
he's he's almost all the way to the finish line. Let's see, the terrified Deinonychus rider. He fails his Constitution save and just falls to the ground. Luckily, it doesn't fall into the pit, and the Deinonychus does fall into the pit, at which point a whole bunch of tiny dinosaurs jump on it and literally start eating it alive. So that is a sad ending for the Deinonychus. The Hadrosaurus rider has a stroke. He rolled a natural 1. That's it. And the Hadrosaurus just kind of wanders off. The T-Rex, let's see what happens here.
Eats some of the crowd.
So the rider gets control of the Tyrannosaurus and decides to take him continuing on out of town to go find something to eat, so he stops eating all the other shit. So the referee runs up to you with a somewhat shocked and appalled and plugging his nose look on his face. Let's see here, Armorine, you get your 100 gold back and win 200 gold. Who bet the 15?
Me.
Rio, you get 30 gold back. So congratulations, guys! You won somehow the dinosaur race.
That was awesome.
Sheer gassiness.
Volo
Carrot on a stick works every time.
looks both amazed and sad. You get the impression that he is astounded by the result, but saddened by the fact that he did not bet on you at all, and so may have lost a fair amount of money. Gondolo is beaming with pride for his smelly compatriot, and Farul is literally drooling in the gutter.
Goddamn one of those days.
One of those days. So you hop off. The crowd is very excited, although a little disgusted because about a third of them have passed out at this point.
Got gas.
And go ahead.
I was gonna say, this is one of those times where unending breath is really helpful.
Yeah. And let's see here. I think I'm at a good point. It's midnight on my end. Does anybody have, after you have, against some odds, won this dinosaur race, anything you want to do?
Fucking 15 DC, Jesus Christ.
Well, you did get an extra 10 feet of run speed on that.
I know, but still.
That's pretty good.
I just want to know what the hell is wrong with all these dinosaurs.
No, right?
They're dinosaurs. Like, what the fuck do you want?
Are they feeding them Taco Bell or what?
I mean, you've seen how Farul treats himself. Gondolo appears to be worthless besides nonverbal communication.
Feeds the fucking Triceratops beans, all the time.
Every day, all day. Can't stop, won't stop.
Eating beans.
Okay, so let's see here. Quick recap for the session. You found a elf chick with daddy issues.
I need to meet her.
Who wants you to take her to the basin?
Hook up with her.
Yeah, Sarah's already working that angle. My brother's monk managed to alienate the one guy on the boat who really liked you guys. Although he doesn't know that you're partners yet. Rio managed to pickpocket the pickpockets, and Sareth won a dinosaur race.
What are you talking about? Volo likes us.
And
Huh?
I am fucking rich.
Oh, Volo likes everybody.
Yeah, arm's fucking loaded now.
And somehow Armorine has more money than anybody else in the party.
Refuge and audacity.
Oh, stupid
Oh.
pays off
Stupid thing and then
sometimes.
fucking wins.
And Gabe failed his pawn check. So there you go.
Should have rolled for intimidation.
I don't think that would have gone over too well.
No,
Not if you failed, no.
If it was my other character, absolutely. But Gale is well, a stiff breeze.
So yeah, my character's not very intimidating either. She's like all of 100 pounds of elf, so
Cool. I'm going to say that for everybody, between fighting the pirates and the heroic effort of 2 people to save Daminar, and managing to not all pass out as the Triceratops ran around, everybody's going to be level 2 when we start next session.
yeah.
So y'all get to level up. As far as hit points go, I don't really care if you want to take the max or if you want to roll. It's up to you.
D&D Beyond.
Yeah, figure it out. The items that I think would be worth considering for everybody is if you want to talk to any other guides, or hire a guide before you go into the jungle if there's anything else you want to do in the city. If you want to try to talk to merchant princes besides Wakanga.
Hell, we could get that elf to come with us. If she knows the way, then fuck it.
Hell, I can hire all the guides. All of them
Yeah, you
simultaneously.
I don't think you have quite that much because they
Yeah.
all want a 30-day advance.
Oh.
yeah, shit. You can hire a couple of them though.
Yeah, so if you read the descriptions of the guides, some of them also have conditions for which they will go with you without pay, and it should be in that channel, in the images. So take a look, decide if you want to talk to anybody, or where you want to go. I think we've got a couple threads for you guys to either look at the princes or look at the jungle and figure out where to go next.
Cool.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I'm gonna start messing with my character sheet now.
Sorry guys, no combat in the back half for all of our latecomers, but you know.
That was cool. We
Yeah,
had
we
an
got
awesome
some-
dinosaur race.
Yeah, exactly. And I totally did not expect to win that one.
I did not
Normally
expect.
I roll shit, but
I mean, I
apparently
don't.
I just
You failed
get
one
fucking
of the
plus 20.
rolls. You failed one of every single roll. That you had what? You had 15, 24, 21, 10, 25, 23.
Yeah, for my
Jesus.
fucking
For your
disadvantage
disadvantage roll,
Oh,
you got a
that's
23 as your worst. So good job.
Love it.
Yeah. Oof. Even if I take the 10 out, let's see, 50, 50, 50. You still won even without your spell.
Oh shit, there you go.
Oddly
You
enough,
just won by a shit ton.
he won.
Just fucking
Won by a shit smell, more like.
Yeah.
And then Dimetrodon took second, so there you go. Anyway.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go look up the level up rules for barbarians because I don't know.
Oh, that's the great thing about Beyond. You don't really have to, just let it do it for you.
Really?
That's all I just did.
Yeah, it's manage a level or something like that. Yeah.
So I know a couple of people figured it out, but just a reminder, make sure if you haven't figured out your backgrounds, make sure you take them all, because I think that gets you at least 2 skill proficiencies that you wouldn't otherwise have, and your gold before we started this session should have been 100 plus whatever your starting gold roll is, plus Sarah's stealing shit. So, yeah, I think that's record keeping. Questions, comments, concerns?
Nope.
No.
Had fun. Thank you for running.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
Glad I could appear for the last 15 minutes.
And win 100 gold.
I know. I have. no
Hi, I want to
complaints.
bet all of my money.
Americana, just fucking baller.
Like I said, I'm gonna be the
Walking
Kool-Aid
away,
man
it's
of
like,
this
"What up?"
adventure.
Also, Arm, you'll appreciate this. Laoken essentially bought supplies for the entire party without anybody else knowing he was doing it, which
Oh,
is just
thank God.
par for the course, really.
Hey, I bought my own
200 uses of
supplies.
fucking instant
Hey.
talent.
Sebastian did buy his own supplies.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
good.
did.
Yeah. Well, next session I need to get directed towards armor because I have a loincloth.
So there are many places in this town that you can buy armor if you want to, in the break, figure it out. And just the prices for normal armor will be the normal prices in... Do you have the player's handbook?
I do not, but I will find it.
Yeah, figure it
Also have
out.
Roll20, which you can, just buy it in there.
Yeah, I think as a barbarian you can wear up to medium armor without rage penalties. Or without some sort of penalty.
Hide and things like that, yeah.
I think also it's worth noting, I think if you're wearing heavy armor in the jungle, it incurs a penalty, but I don't know if we have any heavy armor wearers.
So,
Sebastian.
What were you saying about
Oh,
heavy
wow.
armor?
I'll look it up and DM you. I think there might be a penalty in the jungle for wearing heavy armor.
I just want to point out we killed 2 people in this race without actually fighting anybody.
You didn't kill any people, you killed dinosaurs.
Well-
Yeah.
And we didn't kill them. They just
yeah, the other dinosaurs did.
Yeah, no, we brought our bad luck.
I fell victim to the miasma.
That's my asthma.
Imagine needing to breathe. Whack.
Alright.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
Sebastian, I'll find the ruling about the armor and just let you know, because that's something that would come up as you talk to people.
okay.
Yeah, cool.
Well, we need to buy you deodorant too, because like in heavy armor, you're gonna like fucking sweat like crazy. That's gonna be unpleasant.
Right, because I'm always looking to impress the ladies when I'm out in the middle of the jungle.
Yeah.
So just put him over
I
the
knew
water
you could pick
trap.
up chicks in
Are
a
you
tank.
not?
Just
Like,
just
carry.
just turn the water trap into a palanquin, and then you can put Sebastian in the water trap and just collect his sweat from the armor into the water trap, and then Lao can purify it.
Purify food and drink.
Oh, God. Why is he
I
a
can
gaming
I
girl?
can
We can
purify
sell
food
it.
and drink at level 2.
Oh, level 2. But that's a first level spell, right?
Yeah, it's a first level spell.
So there's limits to how effective that is, I think. Isn't there a quantity limit on that?
All non-magical food and drink within a 5-foot radius sphere centered on a point of your choice within range is purified and rendered free of poison and disease.
Do throat leeches count as a disease?
Yeah, I think they would.
But they're
Parasites? Yeah, I think you would call that a disease.
Although I do want
maybe?
to, I do want to say it doesn't say shit about the taste. So
well, it's like good berries, right?
I
Like
hope you got prestidigitation.
good berries say that they provide sustenance. It says nothing about how fat you're gonna get from chowing down on good berries all day every day.
Well, given that they allegedly produce enough all of the proteins and stuff that you might need for the entire day for any species, like.
I think
What you're telling me is if you want to get jacked, stock up on good berries.
no, not so much jacked, more like
Obese.
morbidly obese.
Malaria is caused by a parasite, and it's classified as a disease.
True, although malaria is caused by a bacteria, I believe, not
No,
by
protozoan.
protozoan. Okay. You'd think I'd know. I ran a fucking malaria study for 2 years, and I can't remember what malaria is.
God.
Leokin.
Yo.
I need help running through the character builder on D&D Beyond. Do
Yeah.
we just select all content?
How do you mean?
Like allow or restrict sources to be used for this character. Homebrew, magic, Eberron, that shit.
But you already have the character
just-
set up. You shouldn't ask you for anything of that, I don't think.
If you don't have a sheet set up in Beyond, I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't set one up and Beyond. I
Yeah,
don't think.
so
Hold
Oh,
on.
Hang on. He did though, didn't he? It's like in the.
No, I made it for him
Oh, right.
because it's ARM.
Fair enough.
Yeah, because I've never played D&D before.
Uh-huh.
You'd think I would
Okay,
have.
ARM at second level, your proficiency bonus stays the same. You get reckless attack. Oh, you get 1d12 hit points. So
I gotta open that.
1d12 plus your con modifier. And then you get reckless attack, which
Is
means
that
when
1d12 for everything or just for?
so roll a 1d12 and add
Okay.
your Constitution bonus, whatever that is, probably 3, and add that to your hit point total.
Oh, yeah, I don't have a 1d12.
Or if you want to be safe, just add 15 to your hit point total, because I don't really care.
The rules as written is whatever half of your dice is plus 1. So for D12, it'd be 7 plus your con modifier. If you're doing flat
So 10.
level.
So add 10 hit points.
27 hit points. Awesome.
Great.
I
Then-
like how I'm level 2 and I have 15 hit points, which is what Arms starts with at level 1. Fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So then you get reckless attack, which means you can you attack recklessly on your blah blah blah. When you make your first attack of your turn, you can decide. Oh God, this. Why do they write this stuff? Okay, your first attack of the turn, you can take advantage on it, but then you get your enemies get advantage for the rest of the turn when attacking you, which means rolling 2 dice and picking the highest. So you can choose to attack at advantage in exchange for being attacked at advantage.
Which, given your immense amount of hit points, it's usually a fair trade.
Yeah. What do I need to do to my dexterity and all that? Does any of that change? Or does that
No,
stay?
none of that changes right now.
Not to level 4.
Yeah.
You can
Okay.
put 2 points into something.
And then you also get danger sense, which means you have advantage on dexterity saving throws against effects that you can see, such as traps and spells. You cannot be blinded, deafened, or incapacitated.
Fantastic.
So you're going to have to remember that you have advantage on dexterity saving throws against effects that you can see.
Okay.
I'm gonna hop out, guys, but
Yep.
shit. Peace.
Sebastian, I assume you are confident in leveling up your character?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident.
I just wonder how, like, wild
Yeah,
feats are gonna go.
I'm already done on D&D Beyond. I guess I need to put it in over on Roll20.
I should have done that.
I don't like the scale of the Port Nyanzaru map.
Does seem a touch small.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Do I
for
really
like
need to
such a
put
city
my
like that.
spells into my Roll20 sheet?
Drag them from the compendium. So if you... Do you have your character sheet popped out?
Yes.
Don't do that. Close it
Okay.
and then open it in the window. And then open the compendium. And then you can drag spells from the compendium into your spell sheet.
How do I open the compendium?
It's the I button at the top. On the top right.
Oh. Cool.
Keep in mind, I haven't paid for anything, so all you get is SRD shit. Because I refuse to pay book price for fucking access to shit in Roll20.
Yeah.
So if it's not in the compendium, what I did for a few people when I was building characters is I just copy pasted shit into the spells because you can make your own spells on the spell sheet.
Yeah, where the hell do I find the merchant list for Port Nyanzaru?
You don't need it. Just if you go into if you go to the SRD or the player handbook or anything, just look at how much items cost. And unless it is a +2 or better item, it will cost what it costs in the handbook. Because this is a trade hub. So normal items do not cost extra.
Alrighty. Oh dear Jesus, that is a horrible way to look at this book.
That's a PHB spell. Why is it not in the SRD?
Because PHB does not mean SRD.
Yeah, I know. I'm just.
It's frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah, it is frustrating because like I got a physical copy of the book. I bought the material in D&D Beyond, and then I got to buy it again to use it in Roll20.
Mm-hmm. It's like, fuck you. Nope.
Yep. All
That's
right, well,
about where I got. I was like, yeah, I'll copy paste. Arm, what are you trying to buy?
I'm just trying to find armor, which I'm looking through.
Okay, so are you looking for light or medium or heavy?
Medium. I want the most I can get without a disadvantage.
The most you can afford without disadvantage is a
Probably.
chain shirt, which is 50 gold. Your AC is 13 plus your dex modifier.
Okay, yeah, so that's worth it because that is over what my bonus would be with rage.
Well, rage, I don't think, does rage impact your AC?
It does indeed. It is, I forget the rules exactly, but I want to say it's my dexterity bonus, or no, it's my constitution bonus plus something else, which I did it last week. It comes out to 12.
range does not affect your armor.
Yeah,
class.
that's a Pathfinder thing. That's not a D&D thing.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, so
You
in D&D,
have a passive ability called Unarmored Defense.
Hold on, excuse me. Unarmed defense.
which is 10 plus dex plus con.
If you're not wearing armor. If you're
Yeah.
wearing armor, it's whatever your armor is plus your dex modifier up to whatever the max dex modifier is for that armor.
What if you have a negative dex modifier?
If you have a negative dex modifier, then it's a penalty to your armor class if you are wearing light or medium armor. If you are wearing heavy armor, your dex modifier does not matter.
But you can't rage with heavy armor.
Yeah.
No matter what I do, I'm still at 12 AC, even with the shirt.
Because you have a negative 1 dex?
Yeah, so it doesn't. So I might as well not buy anything.
Yeah, you might as well.
That is funny.
I mean,
Because you
so
can't
what do
afford a breastplate or scale. Well, wait.
you should be able to afford it.
Well, scale mail. I'm sorry, I was misreading. You can afford scale mail. I'm sorry. You just get disadvantage to stealth. Scale mail is 14 plus dex modifier, so you would be at 13.
Jesus, that's still really hard.
He's a strength barbarian, not a dex barbarian.
I know. It's just. I suppose he has a massive wall of hit points, so that's his armor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm also a charismatic motherfucker.
Because I mean, while my character has much higher AC, she's also made out of glass, so if she gets hit, then she's gonna feel it.
It's also just weird how tightly tuned 5e is.
Alright.
Like, I was looking at high challenge rating monsters, and they all have an AC of like 18.
Right. They made a design decision around bounded accuracy.
Yeah.
So that you can't just stack bonuses for things endlessly.
Yeah.
Overall, I like it for the most part, but I haven't played like really high levels in 5th edition. Though to be fair, I didn't really do that much in 3.5 either.
Well, here's the question. Does a single point of AC make that much of a difference?
I mean, in a bounded accuracy system, yes, it does. because you're not going to see... I haven't seen many attack bonuses. The highest attack bonus I've seen on a monster is 7, which means... or at least something that you guys are likely to fight. The highest I've seen is a 7. And that's for the whole campaign. So to get metagamey, the lowest roll is going to... Like, when your max bonus is 7... there's still a good range of the d20 where if you have a 13 versus a 14, that 1 point matters, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's not like Pathfinder where if you don't have a base attack bonus of plus 15 at a certain point, you're just never going to hit, because shit in Pathfinder has ACs of like 30, 40. Like,
Yeah.
Good Lord.
And 3.5, which I played a lot of, is the same way. It was like if you were a martial type character, you had to worship at the altar of the base attack bonus or attack bonuses, period. It was like anything you could do to increase your attack bonus because you wanted to be able to hit things.
yeah, let me pull my Pathfinder core rulebook and just look at the barbarian BAB bonuses.
It's 1 for every level, I think.
Right? Yeah, probably. Okay, here we go. Barbarian. Base attack bonus. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11, 6, 1, 16, 11, 6, 1. So at level 20, a barbarian in Pathfinder, which is 3.5, kind of, would have 4 attacks at plus 20, plus 15, plus 10, and plus 5. Whereas in D&D, 5th edition, I think 7 is your highest base attack bonus.
Your
6.
proficiency bonus maxes out at 6.
6, yep. So 6 is your base attack bonus max. Plus, I guess 3 for strength is 9. Plus, if you pumped a few more, you could get to 10 or 11 maybe.
Yeah, you could get to 11. Plus, you can get a magic weapon, which would be at
12.
most another 3.
Yeah.
So your maximum attack bonus is going to be like a 14, and then the only thing you could add on top of that would be advantage, a bardic inspiration, a bless. I mean, you can still, like, if you really work hard at it, you can still stack a bunch of stuff, but it's not nearly as easy or straightforward as it is in 3.5 or Pathfinder.
Okay, so either way, no matter how we cut it, I'm still better off with armor than going with weapon.
Well,
Not right.
think of it this way. Like, I can cast, say, Barkskin on you, and that sets your armor to 16, which is pretty much better than no matter what you do, like, with your stats. So you might as well just go for damage or something. And Barkskin would be, like, shit, what is that? That's like a 2nd level spell, I think.
It sounds about right.
But it should last for a while.
Okay, I guess I need to go through the weapons list for 2nd level.
The other option would be a shield and a weapon. Because a shield would add 1 to your armor class.
Shield adds 2.
Oh, that's 2? Shit.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's
Shield
Barkskin
it is.
for you, and you touch a willing creature until its spell ends, blah blah blah. Your AC cannot be less than 16, regardless of what kind of armor it's wearing. And it lasts for an hour.
Wait, Barkskin makes your AC no less than 16?
Yeah, it can't be less than.
That's a funny way to word it, but interesting.
Like, so if you get debuffed or something,
Yeah.
I'm guessing. Yeah.
God, why is the why is the player's handbook so fucking hard to navigate?
Right.
Because D&D. Because
There
they made
one
it...
of the things that they did really well with the 3.0 or 3.5 books, at least, I don't remember if the 3.0 books did it, but they had the little indicator on the edge of the page for what the chapter was. And so you could look at the spine of the book, and by where the dark color was, you could, like, flip directly to whichever chapter you wanted.
And in 5th edition, Tomb of Annihilation doesn't even have an index.
Oh, God.
Yeah, right? So every time I'm like, just give me 1 second. It's because I'm trying to remember where in the book they buried
I
that.
the PDF version and search the PDF.
I mean, it's arguable which is faster.
Yeah. Bark skin. Yeah, it really is worded that way.
It's interesting wording from a rules perspective.
Yeah.
Setting a floor is actually, I think, more powerful than a flat bonus in some ways.
Yeah.
Oh dear God.
Man, if it gave you AC 16, that'd be kind of nuts if it's stacked. Jesus.
Graham, I need your help.
Well,
Weapon skill.
it's actually fairly consistent because like if you make a sorcerer with the draconic ancestry, um,
Oh, you get
then
a plus
they
one
go
natural
13
armor
AC,
bonus.
which is not a +3 natural armor. It's a, if I'm not wearing armor, my AC is 13 plus whatever my dex bonus is. Or I can wear armor if I get proficiency.
Like,
Then it's whatever the armor is plus your dex bonus.
actually, like that. If I multi-classed, so I went, monk one, druid one, my AC becomes 18, even if I have no armor on at all, because the wisdom modifier becomes an AC boost. And because she's a druid, she'd already have that's an extra +3.
Yeah, but
Well, I think you just take the highest of one. Like, I think in 5th edition, with bonuses, or with modifiers, you just take the highest modifier, period. You don't stack them. So you would take the highest of whichever.
But yeah. Either way, it would be kind of pointless because I could just, stay druid, get a
Right.
second level in that, and only miss out on 1 AC because I can just deal with having armor.
Yeah.
Because I'm a freaking caster anyway. I don't need to be.
Losing that caster level is too big of a hit for
Especially a druid.
piddly little bonuses like that.
All right, so I got a question here.
Potential answer.
Potential answer. Potential is always potential. I found the weapons list. There is no level list of when they're available.
That's because you just buy them.
Yeah, like
That's
if
ridiculous.
the question is how much gold you
No,
get.
I mean,